crack. Open the cold one with the crew. Rod J bringing brews, AP got the screw. Midwest vibes, growing pints, yeah we grinding. Sales of Fox and Morse, keep your minds rewinding. Across the state, spread the word, that's how we do. From the grass to the cans, always something new. Raise your glasses, cheers to the cherry sauce. And every sip, till the stories evolve.
Hear news blowing up, hear the chatter.
Midwest Beer Show, race to the crowd. Roger on the mic with the passion and blast. Dave Z's got the knowledge for an history fast.
Yeah. We are back in the house. A new intro.
Yeah, we gotta keep that going. Yeah, I like that.
There's more to it, so it's just a sample now because we can't have the whole song for the intro. But yeah, that's going to be the first soundtrack from the new album to come out shortly that we're going to put out there.
Oh yeah.
Went back to my DJ days and got some music put together for the show as we take it up to the next level, so to speak. So we're always striving to improve here on the Midwest Beer Show and. Just instead of going with the generic opening, no, we got something a little more customized. And
it's better than last time when we didn't have anything. You caught me running to get a beer. I'm like, oh, we're live. What do you know?
Yeah, at least you had your pants on, right? So you were good to go in that regard.
Yeah.
But thanks for everybody tuning in. We are back again with another Midwest Beer Show here on October 3rd. First Friday in October, although it still feels like August, at least here with the heat. Yeah. I'm like, can we get it turned down a little bit? We're in fall now. It's not supposed to keep going up. And apparently tomorrow they're saying some cities will be hitting records possibly. But I'm ready for it to cool down. I'm ready. I mean, it's not what I'm looking for at this time of year. It's kind of throwing me off. But I will say this week I had my first pumpkin beer. And usually I get it in October. It was a little more cooler. I'll start to enjoy it. But it was like, what the hell? Let's go ahead and give it a shot. And so Wednesday night over at Mad Tree, ended up having their PSL. I was really surprised by it because, one, it was a blonde ale. I'm not a huge blonde ale person. Two, it was pumpkin. Catch me in 1 or 2 weeks, and that's about it for the pumpkin right before I get burnt out. But it had coffee, so, got a little bit of a win there. And Mad Tree did a fantastic job on it. So, if you get a chance to see Mad Tree and their PSL, if you're a pumpkin spice person, definitely want to give that a go if you see it.
I'm going to have the pumpkin beer later that you sent me. So I've got it already in the fridge with my Ohio glass ready to go. And, once I finish this one that I'm having right now.
Oh, yeah, the Ohio pint glass from Ohio Pint Day. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, too.
Yeah.
And I'm going to actually crack open a beer, but you already jumped out the gate and you got one.
Yeah, well, you open yours. I'll talk about this one here. I just picked it up today. This is a collaboration between Revolution in Chicago and the Tip Top Proper Cocktails. This is a whiskey sour inspired ale. Now, this is only 6.5%. This is aged. They use oak, and there's like lemon in there. So it kind of has that whiskey sour like vibe going to it. Anything that Revolution puts out, and if it's barrel aged or anything with wood, they do a fantastic job. So I saw this today. I picked up their new release of their barrel aged Deepwood series, and I'm like, while we're here, why don't you throw that one in the cart too? And it's really good. I will say, nice flavor to it, good color on this, and you definitely you don't get like whiskey out of it, but you get the oak notes, you get the lemon, and it's something that's different. And I'd say it's quite refreshing.
All right. Very nice. I still got to do that Revolution Stout you sent me too. So I have not forgot about that. And I think I'm gonna do the West Coast one tomorrow for a review. Just getting the time to get it done.
Yeah. It's going to be that time of year too, barrel age season. Hopefully we get this weather to cool off a bit.
Yeah. It is that time of year. So I just cracked one open here, and it is the Rheingeist Juicy Truth Hazy IPA. So this is one of the stovepipe cans, as they call it. I almost said stove top. So that would be stuffing. But but this is the Hazy Juicy IPA, 6.5% ABV. This one I had in there for a little bit of time, so I needed to drink it and just get it out. I can always grab another one, but you get 2 of these for like $6. So $3 for a craft hazy juicy IPA, 19.2. Sign me up, right? So
what's the ABV on that?
6.5.
Okay.
And Rheingeist is always solid. So if you get a chance, check them out. Which I have a couple of their gold label stuff, which is their fancier type things that they put in bottles that are like, I don't know, 14 or 15 or whatever they may be. But going to get to those as well. But always love checking their stuff out. Shout out to Simo in the house. Great to see you, my friend. Happy Friday for you. Happy Saturday, because you're in the UK. So you're like already into the next day for us. Yeah. Here in the future, you got those lottery numbers for me I can use?
Yeah.
And shout out to Vanessa in the house as well.
Vanessa,
good to see you. And actually, we'll be talking a little Dragon's Milk here in a little bit too. Vanessa, I know that always perks your ears up when we talk about Dragon's Milk. But this is the spot. It's been one of those weeks where it's just like, can I just get to Friday and just put my feet up and enjoy some brews and kick back and move it on to the weekend. So, although Sundays always suck. I think Sundays become my day that I don't like as much during the course of the week anymore. It used to be Mondays, right? Because you're back to work, but Sundays go so fast. They go so fast. Can I slow this down some way? Oh, so Simo and Vanessa have said hello, exchange pleasantries, as they say. So get into some of the stuff here. We had a few things happen over the last few weeks, the last couple weeks as we did the show and stuff. Probably for me, one of the things I was going to share here, when we did the last one, it was right before Oktoberfest. And Oktoberfest here in Cincinnati was a blast, as it usually is. But one of the key highlights for me, and for those of you that have seen the Facebook page, and I might have put on the YouTube community post as well, was I had the chance to meet this gentleman here, to actually meet Jim Cook and actually talk with him for a bit was like, I don't know, like top level, you know. This year I've met Jim Cook and I've met Garrett Oliver. So I feel like I can go to heaven now or wherever and I'll be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I've met icons that were on my list, right?
You got a couple of members on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. So one of the coolest, guys to meet. I mean, he's just like so laid back, so down to earth. It's just like when you see him doing things on TV or like in commercial, he's just like, he's that guy's guy type thing. You just sit at the bar with him and drink for like hours and just soak in the knowledge. And he was just so accommodating for everybody, answering the different questions we had. So for those of you that weren't aware, Sam Adams here in Cincinnati had an event for us to come in for some of the social media type stuff, to meet Jim and talk with him and do some interviews. And I did like a short on one of the questions I asked him that I put out there on the channel, that he gave some words of encouragement for those new breweries that might see some struggles right now, being how long he's actually done it and being a 6th generation brewer. His family goes back to the 1840s in brewing. But it's kind of hilarious when you hear him tell the story, because he was like, when he said he was going to go ahead and do it, his dad was just like, F no, he didn't want him actually going into that. Like, it was like, but dad, it's like, it's in the family. Like, I'm like the 6th generation, like everybody's been doing it. But needless to say, he did it, and he did it well. As we all know, we know the line of what Sam Adams did and all the good things that have come from it. So, like I said, it was just an honor just to actually be there and kind of just like be in the presence and talk to him, and just like, he wasn't pretentious or anything like that and everything. I mean, this guy's like a billionaire, and he's just like, this is a down-to-earth type guy. It wasn't no security, like, hey, back up or anything like that. He was just hanging out with us there. So it was pretty cool. So that was an awesome event and an awesome chance. And Sam Adams, for those of you located near Cincinnati or going to be coming through this way, some of the more locals that like to watch the channel, they got some pretty good stuff coming up at the tap room. Talking to Keith, who is like their tap room manager that was at the event. I'm going to actually head over there at some point here, but they're going to actually have a special release of a beer that's been Utopia barreled. That'll be available here in November. They're going to be coming out with, and they're also going to have some Utopia actually on tap coming up too.
Oh.
So yeah. So Sam Adams, since he's putting some pretty good stuff together, he told me he had a few other things he might want me to check out as well. So I have to get by the brewery and catch up with him. But stay tuned. Sam Adams Cincinnati is they're still turning out some great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I've always mentioned that's like the one beer that got me into craft beer, because this was back in '89. So, I mean, a good beer at that point would have been like a St. Pauli Girl or Heineken, but it was all light lagers. And, I had that. I was in Boston, and it was just like, you look at the color, you get the aroma, and you get the taste, like, this is beer. And it's like, blew me away. And I've just been, into craft beer ever since. And, I got to give a big raise the glass to Jim over there, because, he was one of the, OGs, like him and Ken Grossman and Fritz Maytag, Pierre Celis, guys like that really, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those guys.
No, we wouldn't be here. And it was funny because I did relate to him. Like I told him, I said, you're one of the OG brew. And he kind of got tickled by when I said that there. But I'm like, you are. Like, you were back there. It was because of you that led a lot of the stuff that we see here in the craft beer revolution and just beer revolution, just people doing stuff all over the place. So, but yeah, he was a real cool cat. Could say the same thing about Garrett Oliver when I met him. I mean, these are like dudes that are like up on, like you said, Mount Rushmore, and they're just like, just like talking to him is just so casual and stuff. So yeah, but that's cool. So yeah, that proved to be a really good weekend. And then some other stuff that we actually got a chance, like I said, to find out about what they're doing, and then some of the other local breweries that were actually here. The only problem I ran into with the event itself, it was so damn hot. Again, the heat. Yeah. It's like Oktoberfest is supposed to be as hot as it actually was, and it's like you get a point where you're so hot. It's like sometimes just to drink beer is a chore outside, right? So yeah, I didn't drink probably as much as I could have drank or was going to drink because it was just so hot. But that's all right, We got many other weekends to have some fun.
Yeah.
And then, thank you, Simo, doing great, and hopefully you're on your end as well, my friend. And Vanessa's doing great too. Hey, we got one flight down in the house. Cheers, Alan. Great to see you coming in from the great north up there. And Shane's in the house also in the great north. We're getting the Canadian people coming through. So all my Canadian friends. So yeah,
multinational here. We got UK, we got Canada.
Yeah, this is gonna be a global night. It looks like.
There's a little fly that kept like buzzing around me. I'm like, you little bastard.
Dave's got wildlife going on over there.
Yeah, I think they're smelling the lemon in this beer. It's like, where do these little fruit flies come from?
And Vanessa says hello to one flight and also to Shane. So yeah, so that was a cool thing there. Just kind of touching back on that. Dave had actually shown earlier the Ohio pint glass, which I'd actually got to him. So that was last week here, which was
well. While you talk about that, I'm going to grab that pumpkin and pour it in the pint glass. So
I'll
be back in 1 second here.
All right, he's going to go get his pumpkin beer. So we actually had Ohio Pint Day last week, which was pretty cool. Let me see here. And this is something they do once a year. And it was last Tuesday is when we actually had it. I'm going to pull it up here. And it was really cool. They came out with the new glass design. Each year they choose different ones, but instead of your standard shaker pint glass this year, they did something a little bit more different, more of I'll say a wheat type glass, which Dave will be able to show when he pulls it up and shares there on the camera for you. What a good fundraiser to help raise some funds, support the Ohio Craft Brewer Association. So it was great to get out there. I was a little disappointed not all the breweries participated, but I guess it's hard to get everybody on board. So finding a glass took a little bit of running around. The funny thing is I went to 3 different breweries. The 2 I went to that I thought would have it didn't have it. The one that did have it was actually the closest one to my house. So as I was circling back, I said, well, let me try this one. Oh, yeah, we got them. Yeah. Oh, I got okay, could have just went here first. So ended up finding that. And then buddy Ginger Yeti, he's up in the Cleveland area, but he was also looking on his end for stuff up there, but he was ready to trying to find out where somewhere as well. But in the end, able to get the beer glass, which was great, and showing some support there for the association. I don't know if did you show it again, Dave, the glass there when we poured it? Yeah. So it's nice. It's not, like I said, your regular shaker pint. So
no. And I don't know if it's because I haven't poured something in a glass like this in a while or my wrist, but I'm like, oh, I got a little foam on this. I have to get used to pouring. I'm usually just doing it out of a shaker or my Tiku glass, but no, this is a sharp glass. And actually, the president of my union is an Ohio girl. So when I took the picture, I sent it to her. I'm like, look what I got. And she's like, shut the... Where did you get that? Like, don't worry about where I got it. Yeah. She's like, I gotta get one of those.
Yeah, a lot of people were definitely looking for them. They were selling out of some of the breweries pretty quickly. So,
well, it's weird. I didn't get the Illinois one this year. The couple places I went to was the same thing. No, we don't have it. No, we don't have it. We're out. And it's just like, I never wound up getting the one from Illinois, but I have the one from Ohio, thanks to you. And I have the Colorado one, and which are both sharp glasses. But yeah, I get out of state ones, but I didn't get my own Illinois.
Funny how that actually works out, right?
Yeah.
Some of the beers, you can't get some of the beers there, but you can get them in other states. So, yeah.
All right. So I'm having this courtesy of Rod J and Rod J BeerVentures. This is Taft's Brewing Company. This is Frisch's Pumpkin Pie Ale. And, man, they nailed that. I mean, that just tastes like you're having a piece of pumpkin pie. You just need like some Cool Whip or something to put on top of that. They nailed the flavor of that. That's just like eating a piece of pumpkin pie.
Well, Cincinnati, they can't mess that up because people here are very adamant about their Frisch's and their pumpkin pie when it comes out every year. And it's like, I don't know if you've ever had like the graters and the ice cream from Cincinnati. It's just one of those staples where it's kind of like, don't mess it up. If you're going to do it, it better be on point. And, Taft's is that one brewery I mentioned a while back. We still have distribution because the company that purchased them is still making their beers from the recipes. You just can't go to Taft's anymore because there's no location for it. But it's great they're keeping the name alive. And that is a favorite for people around the area, especially those that enjoy pumpkin. So
now that Frisch's, is that like a bakery? What's the name Frisch's?
Frisch's is basically the Southern Big Boy.
All right.
So to speak. It's the same big boy character, but it's Frisch's across a certain point. And then when you go up north, it's Big Boy, I guess. And then some places it's like Shoney's that has the same boy too. So this guy gets around. Whoever he is, he's getting around all these different places. But it's the same mascot and everything. But yeah, and like I said, it's a fan favorite. People look forward to that and everything. And it was kind of like, I remember the first time I had pumpkin pie. Like we had one of my old jobs, we had a cafeteria that served this. First time I ever had it. I said, oh, this is pretty good. They're like, that's not good. You gotta go to Frisch's. You go to Frisch's, then you know what pumpkin pie tastes like and stuff. I'm like, oh, well, it tastes like it's pumpkin. All right,
Yeah.
So but people do love it. People they buy the whole pie when they go there sometimes.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. I kill a pumpkin pie right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie, sign me up.
Mm-hmm. But Taft's is known for nailing that one there. So, it was out this time of year. So I was like, I had to be careful because I know you're lactose intolerant. So I was like, what can I get, Dave? Let me make sure. Let me check the can. Make sure.
I didn't read the can. Let me look down here and look at the can.
I think that's lactose intolerant. I think you're good.
Yeah.
So.
No, it just says cinnamon nutmeg with the malty profile, malt beverage with natural flavors. Well, if I have to like go off camera for a couple minutes, there's lactose in this, but I think we're good.
I think you're good
there.
Yeah. There was one I did pick up and said, oh, it's got lactose. I can't send that to him. So, well, I appreciate that, Shane. Make him come on and check out. And if y'all checked out Shane just actually finished All By Myself season 4, where he had various ones of the Beer TV community doing a parody of being all by myself, kind of like alone. Mm-hmm. So make sure to check that out on his channel as well. I didn't get a chance. I couldn't really come up with a good idea. I'm not really like in outdoors as much as I could get something put together. I tried to think about it, and then I was so busy on other stuff, I just couldn't get it together, so to speak. But it's always entertaining to watch the videos that Shane puts out there.
Oh, yeah.
And he said hello to Vanessa. And I do follow Order Shane. Well, Vanessa always shows up here, though. So. Yeah, he said nice glass. Yeah, it is. It's a nice one. I'm glad they changed it up. And the lady that designed that one, she did some good work. Yeah, definitely nice glass. Vanessa says, making me want to make pies. Yeah, it's that time of year. Enjoying homebrew pumpkin ale right now.
Nice.
There you go. Pumpkin pie, fantastic. Found out the brewer for Naughty Nurse Beer closed down, but the beer is still being made by a different brewery. Okay, so another brewery has the recipe for it. Yeah, that's a beer that Vanessa told me about a long time ago, like the Naughty Nurse beer. Pumpkin pie made with butternut squash is fantastic too.
That's actually on sale at my local Jewel right now. I could go pick some up.
Have you ever made a pumpkin pie?
Yeah, I made pumpkin pie,
okay.
and I made pumpkin pie cheesecake that came out really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was years ago before I had dairy issues. So
now it's not on the menu anymore.
Yeah, I could take a pill for that. That's all right. Sometimes, you do it on your Friday night where you're off the next day, and
sometimes it's worth the risk.
Yeah. Or if you're having a colonoscopy the next day, you got to clean up. You're good.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's coming, Doc. Yeah. Sweet tater pie made with sweet taters from Louisiana. Taters. I do some more outdoor adventures. I won't spoil and tell you who won this year. Okay, yeah, I got to watch the video and stuff. I was prepared for the show earlier, so I couldn't make it. You should be on the show next year, Vanessa. Vanessa's going to definitely win if she's on the show, I'm sure. Speaking of pies, I'm throwing in the Gino's East Pizza in the oven out west here. What's up, Kale? Great to see you, my friend. I had a pumpkin pie cheesecake beer last year. So good. I made lots of pies. Name them, and I can make them. I do not doubt that. So, of course, growing up as a kid, two of my favorite pies were lemon meringue and Boston cream.
Yeah.
Not apple, not cherry, nothing simple. Like, it's like if I wanted a pie, Grandma was making a lemon meringue or a Boston cream.
I have to say, there's a place here called Who's Your Mama, and they make a coconut custard that would be my hands down number one pie choice.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it got the flaky like coconut type stuff? Oh, see, I can't mess with that then. That's just, get it on your tongue. It's just, I don't know. It's weird. Now you put it in the beer. You put coconut in the beer. I'll drink the beer. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. So yeah, we do Ohio Pint Day. And then upcoming next week, and this is more for some of you that may be more local as well, but next weekend here in Cincinnati, we have the American River Roots Festival. So that'll be kind of interesting. They end up getting all these boats in from around the country, river boats. Like, I think they got like 9 or 10 for this year, and people can tour them and they put concerts on them and they do all kinds of stuff. But for me, I actually will be curating one of the events to take place. So I'll be actually leading people through a beer tasting, which would be pretty cool. So they come in and they get a flight of beers, and I'm going to actually choose beers to actually take them through. It's kind of it's going to be kind of interesting to see how it all goes. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm myself and then the Gnarly Gnome, who is one of the other bloggers here in Cincinnati, are the only two that are doing it that aren't with the brewery, which is interesting. But they asked us to actually partake in the event, and we're like, cool. So for those that are local, I'll be doing that on next Sunday, and we'll see how that all goes. But I'm pretty pumped up, and
it sounds like fun.
Yeah, I haven't done a beer tasting in a number of years and stuff, but kind of I'll choose the beers and kind of tell people how to, or teach people how to actually look in aroma and flavor and all that kind of stuff as they go through, and then kind of talk about some of the social media with beer and type stuff. So it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. But,
okay. Like, you know what's going to be like served there, so you have an idea of what yours is going to be? There's
a list of beers they have from different breweries. I should just tell them which 6 I want to go with, I think. Right. So I have to look at the spreadsheet, but we'll do that. And hopefully next weekend, because it's down off the river, to be cooler. It won't be as hot as it is now. But some of the breweries that'll be there will be like Rheingeist, Mad-Tree, Braxton, 50 West. But I think Westside, a few other ones don't actually have the beers for it. But it's like music, cuisine, culture, and cruises. So People will eat, they'll ride, they'll listen to music, they'll drink beer. I think they might even have I'm thinking possibly maybe bourbon or something down there too. So it should be a good time, It should work out well. So,
As long as it's not 100 degrees out or whatever.
Long as it's not, long as it comes down a little bit more. Yeah.
Well, you had a thing, and you even saw it, and I didn't see it, on a travel and leisure magazine. There's a bunch of
don't get ahead of us now. Don't get ahead of us now. It's coming.
Well, we're talking festivals here, so I got like 20 tabs open here, Rod. But I kind of feel bad. There's one that's next weekend as well that Dovetail and Beguile have a joint Oktoberfest, and I signed up to be a volunteer to pour, and I don't know if I'm going to make it now because I was telling Rod I'm going to be probably in a full caster, my elbow down to my wrist, so I don't know if I'm going to be pouring there next weekend. I'll see if they have something else. Maybe I could just stand there and bounce. Yeah. You get out of here. You get out. Yeah.
I don't know if we want to go into talking about the levels of colonoscopies here, but that might have some bad imagery for a few folks.
Yeah.
Lemon meringue for egg whites and duck eggs. I have no idea how to make a lemon meringue pie. I just know how to eat the lemon meringue pie. Listen, hello to KO. Are there many fresh hop beers in the Midwest now?
They're starting to come out.
They're starting to come out. I think last weekend was one of the first weekends. I think they were starting to pull stuff, but we're going to actually talk about one that's been a major fresh hop beer that's not coming out now. That's kind of caught people off guard too, which I applaud them for what they're doing there. But I know I got an email. If anybody gets there's 7 or 8 states. Ohio is one. Kentucky is one. I don't think Illinois is one though, Dave, but Sierra Nevada's got their wet hot harvest sale where you can actually ship it to you off their website. Okay. So if you are looking for that, they always do a pretty good edition of that too.
And their celebration will be out probably in a couple of weeks, and that's always a fresh hop ale. So, if you can't get it, you can get celebration everywhere.
40-gallon cast iron pot for the fire pit. Wow. That's pretty big. That would be really big. Let's see here. And then, this is you talk about me finding something. This is something that you actually came across with Rheingeist, right? So there was a piece that came out talking from the VP of sales about Gen Z consumers are craft curious, but they just don't understand it, as if to say, I guess, that they don't know how to really enjoy craft beer or how to work their way through it. They're not knowledgeable enough. I don't know. What did you see from the piece itself when you were looking at it?
I maybe I took it the wrong way, and that could be the case, but I don't why would you tell somebody that's not drinking your beer that, they may not understand it. Maybe they just don't like it. I don't know. That it almost seemed like you were putting down people, and that wouldn't be my way of going about things, but who am I?
Well, no, it's funny you say that, because I thought that initial thought when I first saw it as well. That's not how you want to make a pitch for people an appeal to people to try your stuff, right?
Yeah.
Kind of come out that way. Now, I don't know who the vice president here of. I mean, as I drink a Rheingeist beer, and I'm going to probably drink another one here, and the people I know at Rheingeist, I can't, they're not in that role. I can't imagine them kind of doing that, because they're usually pretty understanding and pretty welcoming and get people involved on the beer so they can kind of educate them as well when they're trying to find out stuff. So it's kind of interesting. And it does, I don't have the Brewbound thing here, but the ready to drink cocktails, they remain one of the hottest things, they say, and kind of talk about other stuff. It's kind of I don't know if there's a pointing of a finger to kind of say, this is why sales are down, because they don't understand it. That doesn't make sense either. That's just, Yeah,
because I'm right. This is a quote. This is from the vice president of sales. His name is Mark Vengioni. Nice Italian guy. He was they're not truly beer enthusiasts, maybe like I was in my early 20s when craft was just on the rise. But we think a lot of it is because they don't understand it. they don't have to understand it. It's their wallet. They don't have to understand it. So I don't know, that it just seemed off-putting to me. Like, if you're a company, you should be going to where the market is, not like alienating people by saying you just don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's beer. It doesn't take much understanding, right? And this is where you have to come in. So, for instance, this week, and I'll talk about the drink here I had over there, but I was at Mad Tree for an event where they launched a new collab with New Riff. And I was sitting there talking to their vice president of actually marketing, and we were having a good conversation. And then basically talking about meeting the consumers where they are, which she understood as well. That's what they try to do. Like, you know, you've got to have things to meet and it just seems like this piece doesn't look like maybe trying to meet the consumers where they are, right? So if I'm running a brewery and I'm thinking, well, Gen Z doesn't really understand or educate about beer. Well, here's an idea. You're vice president of marketing, you know, you got your sales people there. Do something like hold some type of sessions there at the brewery where you can have come find out about beer, you know, get it out to, like, we have UC, we have Xavier, we have 4 or 5 other schools around Cincinnati area. Have a thing there for like the college night to learn about. You can educate those people. You don't alienate them. You bring them in, and then you can educate them and kind of have things to have them build toward or so.
Or if you're a vice president of marketing, here's a thought: do your job.
Oh, market.
Yeah. Do your job. Don't alienate people because they're not getting on board. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I had to pull like Bill Belichick out of there. Do your job. You've got one job, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, that does work as well. Yeah. Get out there and, you know.
Oh, there goes the Rhine Guy sponsorship.
Find that audience and market to them. Yeah. Bring them in. You know, this is how it actually works in the business world, right? So, yeah. So it'll be interesting. I'll have to find out some more details with that being here more local to me for some of the people I know over there. I'm actually due to get up to Rhine Guys at some point, but it's just a kind of interesting, you know, piece to start off that way. Let me see here. Let's see. Brothers getting a pallet of concrete tomorrow, so we were filming more concrete patio pavers. You got your brother down to I want to say he's down to I think the trekking yard or whatever where you pick him up and stuff. So doing some patio. She's building more stuff out on the patio. 1,100 square foot of patio pavers for him. That's a lot of patio paving. Yeah. Then until the keys are built. Vanessa's always got projects going on now. So yeah. But anyway, with the this here, I don't know. It doesn't feel like that's the right way you want to appeal to an audience and to grow. And I can say from working with some of the Gen Z generation, when we have company get-togethers, because they know I do a lot of stuff in beer, a lot of them come over and they're asking me about different beers to try, and I do point stuff out, and they go try different beers. So if they're not educated, they go to somebody that has that knowledge, and it shows when you help them out to kind of figure out to try something, they're willing to do it. So if you're not doing that at Rhine Guys, that's like Dave said, do your job. That's on you. You know, that's like, I mean, there's
people, I'm sure you get it all the time. People come up to you like, oh, you're the beer person. Like, I'll get people coming up to me at work like, hey, I've got family coming over. We're having a gathering or we're doing this, you know, what do you think I should get? And it's always like, what do you like to drink? Right. You know, are you a macro person? Because then I could give you craft options of that. Do you like pales? Do you like, you know, if you like Voodoo Ranger, I could give you local styles that, in my opinion, are better. And, you know, so you do that all the time. And you just educate people, but you don't put them down, even if they just drink Budweiser. Okay, you know, hey, that's good on you. Not my drink, but I'll give you options for some like local craft that you can try that if you like this, I think you're really going to like this one. Right.
Yeah. That's how you get people to actually build out from it. Right. So, and I would say I would say the good breweries, because I'm not saying any breweries are bad, they're not, but breweries I've seen that actually done that, you know, they ask what they usually like or whatever like that. Well, if you like that, then you might go to this one. It might be a blonde ale, it might be a golden ale, it might be whatever they have on tap that's similar to it. Because a lot of breweries, if they're doing it right nowadays, they're going to have a nice variety that can almost suit anybody that comes in.
Yeah.
You know, you get 10 taps. The days of putting 7 IPAs on are gone, or they should be.
Yeah.
If you're still doing that, you're probably falling behind the curve.
I mean, there's very few, like, I'm sure, like, you know, Hop Busher can, like, other half. I mean, there's very few breweries that could do that now and still be successful.
Yeah, but even Hop Butcher, they go with the Mexican lager, they go with the stout, they go with other things outside of just the IPA and double IPA, right? So they've still expanded out. Now, at the time, I haven't been to the tap room since we were there years ago, but I just know from the variety of stuff that I see, they have moved it out some. And they do actually do a really good Mexican lager for the one I had before for them as well.
I mean, now they have like 3 different hop waters, because I was just there yesterday. So I wanted to pick up that one from Go Brewing that we were talking about before we went on air. And, you know, they have like 3 different hop waters that are out there. So, you know, they're meeting the market, you know.
Yeah. And the hop waters and the one with Go Brewing. So now they're doing the NA by teaming up with them. So, So you got to meet the customers where they're at if you want to keep evolving. There's a lot of different things happening where different breweries are actually, you know, it's going to always happen where you're going to have some stuff closing down. Some are jumping in, some aren't. Some are just going to be like empty spaces. But, you know, those that are kind of still striving and still growing are doing the things they need to do to meet the consumers where they're at.
Yeah.
If you're not doing that. Like I told her when we were talking, like, if you're just saying, I'm going to make the beer I like because that's the beer I like, well, you're not going to be in business much longer.
Yeah.
You know,
you're going to be a spirit for Halloween.
Right.
Yeah. You're good. Yeah.
They still have those pop up. They still have the spirit stores around. Okay.
Yeah. You're right this time of year. So you're going to be a spirit for Halloween if you don't meet the market.
Right. The market is definitely changing, and you better be suited for it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So this was one that you actually came across as well. Let me see. It opens up here. The case for standard freshness date code. And was that the one you had, or was that me that had that one? I can't remember. Maybe
we both did. I got to see because I got a lot of tabs open here.
Okay, let me pull it up.
Yeah, from my beer buzz.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's interesting because, I mean, you look at, and most breweries, and you don't want to say all of them are this way, but most breweries give you a basic date code. All right, this is when it was brewed, or this is when it's best by. Most of them have when it's brewed, but some give you these weird Julian dates, which I can still calculate a Julian date because we use that in the airlines, but you get some like weird date codes. Like, I don't need an abacus with me when I want to pick up a beer. I just want to look, all right, this beer's pretty fresh. I could pick this up. Or if you're going to, like in our case, of Binny's and you're buying a mix pack, that's where you really have to be leery because some of those are just like, you know, they're past their date and you want to make sure you're getting a good beer. And if you can't figure this out, a lot of times I just put it down. I'll get something else.
Right. But here's the thing. I've been in sales a long time.
Yeah.
There's been one thing in sales that's always been the same.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Just do the Kismet. Just put the date. Just the date.
Yeah.
Don't have anybody trying to decipher codes. Got to get out there, decoder code ring they got from Christmas Story or something like that and everything. And go through the whole Orphan Annie type thing. Yeah. Just put the date.
Like I'm looking at this Taft's right now just to kind of see. I have no idea. There's a 2.5 at the end. I'm assuming it was brewed this year. The rest of this, I have no idea.
Yeah. See, no reason. And that one I know because they just came out with it because I'm here local. But if I'd have been somewhere else, I'd have been like, I probably would have passed one. But that just came out. So, yeah.
Like here, this one that I had earlier from Revolution, plain as day, I love this. It was filled September 19th of this year at 8:49 in the morning and 26 seconds. All right, you know when this was made. So yeah. And it doesn't have to be that hard. Just the date the date it was canned.
I do love the humor in the graphic though. Best by the third Sunday after the first full moon.
Yeah.
Because that's what it kind of gets into when you try to decipher some of this stuff. It's just like, you're a brewery. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Put the date on. Put the date on the can. I love when some do the date it was actually packaged on and the date they say Best Buy. That's the best way to actually do it. But if you can't, at least give one of those. But I think personally, you probably want to give the Best Buy, because if you're a beer geek like we are and you give us a package date, we can kind of calculate out on what it should be for that type of style. Your average consumer cannot.
Yeah. And it varies by style too.
Yeah.
Like, a lager or like a barrel-aged stout. You don't care if it's fresh. You want it to be as fresh as can be, but like a barrel-aged stout, you're just going to throw it in the cellar for a year or two anyway if you're not drinking it right away. But like your IPAs, where your hop aroma and your hop bitterness, diminish after time, it's important.
It's very important, right? Because speaking of bad beer, so quick story here. I went a couple weeks ago to one of our local stores, and I knew around this time of the year, we're going to talk about it not coming out here in a bit, but Lagunitas, fresh hop. So this is before the news that we actually got about it. And I'm like, oh, they got it on the store. There was only 2 6-packs left. Oh, it must have just hit the stand. Let me go ahead and get it. And I got it. And I was like, on the car, I was like, wait a second, let me just make sure it's actually this year's edition, just to and I pull it up. Of course, Lagunitas on the clean date. Well, anyway, I pull it up and I look at the brown bottle, get the light behind it, and just flakes. All through it, right? So got back out of the car, went in the store, showed them what I was looking at, and the guys like, oh, yeah, we'll refund your money back or whatever. The car, like some stores will try to give you a thing. Well, you left the store, so we can't do anything. Well, you gave a bad product. But anyway, they were cool about it. And I said, there's another one over there. Do you want that one too? Just in case. They're like, yeah, if you can grab that, that'd be awesome. So I grabbed that, and they put them both off. I don't know if they ended up putting it back out or try to sucker anybody else with them, but it was just like,
he saw your tail lights leaving the parking lot. All right, we're going to put these back.
But and then the other guy came over that was with him. He looked at it, yeah, that's not supposed to be that way. But you have to make sure you're checking out your beers when you make that purchase, just because you want to make it a nice experience. You don't want to be disappointed. Like I said, if I wouldn't have held it up and I would have got home and poured that beer, it would have been pissed. Well, by then it would have been too late or whatever, right? So if you can, always check it. You check it for the date. You also take a look if it's in a bottle. You can always hold it right up there, get the light behind you from the light in the store just to make sure everything looks good on it. Breweries like Lagunitas that don't put the date on stuff are ones you have to be just extra careful about. Not to put it on them, but if they don't have the right distributor who's not turning beers out of the store or the store's not doing it, you're the one that ends up losing out. Everybody else got their money, and you want to get what you got to purchase to be correct. So just to protect yourself, make sure you're checking those beers out.
Yeah, if I'm going to have something like that, I'm not going to drink another beer from this brewery again because my experience was bad. And, and it's not just breweries, like you mentioned, distributors, and it's also store owners. Know what you have and get rid of this and, keep your customers happy.
Right. And that's why some of the breweries I've talked to is kind of like, where's that fall into? And they don't want the bad beer on the shelf because they know it hurts them because they're going to remember the brewery that had it and they're going to I don't want to drink their beer because they put out bad beer. But it wasn't them. It was the store that didn't turn it over, or it was the distributor that didn't pick it up. So just one of those things. Just a reminder. So even for us that are veterans, we can get caught up in the moment and almost make that mistake too and buy the wrong beer. So always stay on your toes. Shane says, love some Hot Butcher. Hot Butcher is great, KO says. Yes, it is a fan favorite for sure. Feel that about coffee too. Just put the brew roast date. Yeah, dates. Technically it's still a food, so we buy food with dates on it for a reason. Yeah. So beer, coffee, milk, all that kind of stuff. You wouldn't buy milk if you didn't know the date, right? So if you might
hold it up to the light.
Yeah, it's a high risk to do that. Yeah. What's up, JT in the house? Good to see you, my friend. Last week, I bought a 6er Dortmund Gold by Great Lakes. No date on the box. However, a date is stamped on each can. Not helpful in the store. Yes, that's one of the things I'm not a huge fan of either is they stamp stuff in the cans and they put them in the box container rather than putting a date on the outside of the box as well. And I actually had an issue with that years back with the store. And I said, it was Bell's Two Hearted. I'm like, is this the new Two Hearted or was this last year's? And they were like, oh, no, it's the new one. We just got okay. I take it out. I get to the car. I take it out. One of the cans is last year's. And the thing I was just talking about before, I went in to tell her, like, no, you told me it was this year's. Well, you took it out of the store. Like, well, you told me it's in a box. I can't get in the box because I didn't buy it. And it, for like 10 minutes going back and forth. And she finally refunded, but she had an attitude about it. But I had to stop going to that store. It's just like.
No, I would have been full on Karen. Get your manager.
Well, she was the manager too. Right. But it's like, literally, I asked you, is this year's? You said, yes. Then I open it up and it's next year's.
For last year,
Why last year's, right? Why am I the bad guy?
Yeah.
Like, I asked you everything I needed to ask you. You're the one that said not. So yeah, there's an old video on my channel ranting about that too, by the way, if you ever want to see it. But ended up, but for me, at the time when I'm buying a lot of craft beer doing reviews, they were like one of the best stores to get a lot of craft beer. I stopped doing business with them. So I just started going to other spots, right? So you end up pissing off consumers, you lose business on that end. It's like the bottom line thinks the brewery sells traditional sixers, not box ones. Yeah. And then JT said hello to Shane as well. So yeah, so just make sure you're out there buying beer. You want to make sure you're getting the right beer and protecting yourself, so to speak. Then we had Great American Beer Fest. Wow, 2 weeks away.
I know, it's right around the corner.
That is just about here, and obviously
next weekend. And obviously, I'm not making it out there this year. That was on the goal to try to do so. One of me and Dave's, I guess you could say, I don't say a partner, but one of the media companies we work with, she was gracious enough to talk about if I was going. She had some different things to try to go to, and she probably told you the same thing, Dave, too. Just like, won't be out there for that, though. But yeah,
it's.
I talked to one of the breweries that I'm going to have on my show. It'll have come out this weekend. Bootstrap, and they won 8 GABF medals. They're a Colorado-based brewery, so they were a lot of fun. And because one thing I wanted to know, like, a lot of like the winners of the GABF, a lot of Colorado breweries, and nothing to say anything bad about them, but it seems like there's more breweries because you don't have to ship it halfway across the country.
Sure.
So I was asking, like, is there more pressure? Because this is like your hometown festival. So I'll have that coming out on the show over the weekend. But yeah, that was a lot of fun talking to them at Bootstrap. I'm sure I'll be watching like the live stream when they have the festival next weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably watch it on live stream as well. I've talked to some of the breweries before about the Great American Beer Fest and some that weren't going out there and reasons why they weren't going. And it makes sense. It's kind of like, well, you got to pay this money. You got to pay the entry fee. You got to go across the country. And it's just like, is it really worth it? Because, it's so regionalized or localized for breweries and stuff now. Like, it'd be nice to come back and have a medal or something like that and everything, but is it worth the expense of having to deal with all of that?
Yeah.
My thing has always been, obviously, it's a Colorado own type thing. I mean, that's where people know to go. But it's like, it'd be nice if they moved it around the country at different points, so that you get people on the East Coast or West Coast or South or up north.
And I mentioned it to Bart from the Brewers Association. I'm like, have you guys ever thought of doing like almost like an NCAA tournament type deal with the GABF, and you could have different regions. Like, all right, we're going to do like the best of the Midwest, and the winners from there, they can move on. And like the GABF would be the final four, if you will, for like the best of the best. And you might be able to get more breweries involved if you had your Northeast region, your Midwest, things like that. But that's always something I thought would be like a really cool idea.
Yeah, I think it would be too, to have it that way. Yeah.
You could have all your, you don't have to have 4 regions. You could have, 10. You could have like, the Southeast, where you have like your Florida and Georgia, places like that, your Northeast, Midwest. You could really have 10 different regions, and then the winners of those, which I'm assuming will get a bump from the festival, then they'll be able to send their beer on to the GABF.
Yeah. It's weird. Abita has 2 breweries that are actually the New Orleans and the Covington, but it's like, why are y'all separated out? Like, why don't y'all just do one? It's just
unless they brew in 2 different spots.
Well, I think they do.
Last time you had an Abita.
Oh my God, it's been years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it on the list, but like Purple Haze, who the hell? No one drank that shit back in the day. God, but like
I drank some.
Turbo Dog. Oh, Turbo Dog was the shit. I love me some Turbo Dog.
Actually, from the Covington one, I've had them all, I think, except their Oktoberfest.
All right.
From the New Orleans one, I don't think I've had any of theirs. That Fundamental, that Way Chill, that Creole.
No, I haven't had any of those.
No.
I think out of the Covington one, I think I've had all of those.
Yeah. Yeah, Oktoberfest is the only one I don't think I've had. I may have had it, though, but I don't think I did. But I do remember.
Yeah, but no, Turbo Dog.
Yeah.
That's another old school, OG craft beers that was like, I love the Turbo Dog. They had that nice, what was it, that black and yellow can or bottle label. That was always really cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab one more of these Ohio beers, so give me 1 second here.
Okay. We got Alaska Brewing out there with their smoked porter. That's always a good one. L. Smith has their stuff. Oh, they got a Speedway Espresso Martini version. That could be interesting. I actually do have some Speedway beers to bring up here for reviews on the channel. Toasted coconut Vietnamese coffee. That sounds interesting. The rye Vietnamese coffee. That might be something in itself, too. Yeah, but I don't know how they got a good amount of beers that are being entered this year, probably from all over. They usually do. But now they have like the ready to drink cocktails out there. And they also I think they get maybe some spirits out there around the thing.
Yeah, I thought they were doing spirits this year.
Yeah. But I think that's basically, again, with the other things being down, to get more people involved doing stuff. But it's still on my list to do. Just haven't done it as of yet. And hopefully,
I know, like last year they did like a food pairing thing, and I think they're doing it again, where they're pairing different, like you could get like a small plate of certain local dishes from 5-star chefs paired with certain beers. So I mean, that should be like really cool. I almost bought that today, JT, when I was at Bottles and Cans. I came close to it, but I had to put a couple others in there. So, but that's next on my list. What I'm having right now, another one that Rod sent over, Sonder and Friends Oktoberfest. So this was like a 5K race that they had last weekend?
They did
an Oktoberfest 5K,
yeah. I heard. I didn't run it. I just heard that was what they were doing.
Didn't run it. Shit.
I did not partake in that. No.
Yeah. I'll drive in the car. I'll drive next to you. Hey, you're doing good. All right, my man.
Salute. Yeah. I am actually going to crack open another one here. This is going to be another stovepipe as I go through these here. But going from the Juicy Truth to the Rheingeist Truth Bomb. So this is actually their Imperial Pale Ale. The other one.
Yeah, you better suck up to them after I told him to do his job. Yeah, you better be nice to Rheingeist. I love me some Rheingeist. I do. I'm a fan. I've had a couple of beers.
9.5% ABV on this one here. So yeah. And this one, like I said, Imperial versus the regular, and nothing else really on their can. Just kind of just the label. So crack that baby open.
Yeah, I like the label on this one. It's good Marzen style. Benefits the Greater Project. I'm assuming this is like the Cincinnati Greater Project, so that's cool.
Yeah.
This is like good Marzen style, 5.5% alcohol. This is a good beer. Thank you again.
Yeah, you're welcome. No, they do solid stuff at Sonder, so always impressed with the beers they're putting out. They have one that is their You Betcha IPA. I'll have to get that to you at some point, but it's a New England Hazy, that one of their better ones, one of the better New England Hazy IPAs, I think, in the area that get put out. So always some good stuff there. They're over in Mason, Ohio. And then Abita Ambrose, my first craft beer, 1987. Cardinal has that off-color beer for a stunning $10.99, at least $3 cheaper.
The Cardinal that's on like Lincoln there, is that the Cardinal you're referring to, JT?
Let Dave know because y'all in the same area code.
Yeah,
much.
like Lincoln there by Western, by that little curve. I know that Cardinal.
You guys are area code bros.
Yeah, I just drove past it yesterday, actually.
Look at clarity on that beer, that double IPA. That is clear. Lots of carbonation, lots of action.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good Marzen style.
Yeah, it makes me say West Coast IPA. Yeah, I'm glad you're liking that one. I forgot what was the other one. Oh, I said the other one from Mad Tree. That's solid.
I was going back and forth, but I'm like, let me have this one here because when at first, because we were just talking about dates, it had the date on the can, September 27th, but that was, I guess, the date of the 5K. So I'm like, oh wait, September 20. Let me just grab this one now.
Yeah. I think that was that. Well, when did I send that to you?
That just came like 2-3 days ago.
That was on Tuesday because I was thinking that was maybe the can date because I think they put can dates on it because I got it from the Kroger. It might have been distributed that.
Yeah, but it says on here Prost. So I guess this was canned September 9th. So this is
good. Okay. Yeah. Oh, 27th on the label is the day of the race. Yeah, that's when they had the
that
race
must have been the race. But like I just saw that. I'm like, oh, we were just talking about dates. I'm like, wait, so let me just pour this one out.
That was just the race date. Yeah. Oh, I'm a regular there. But he said yes, that was the location you were talking
I'll have to swing by there and check that out. On my way back from harvest time. And I'm always at harvest time. And then Monty's a good Philadelphia sandwich right across from harvest time.
It's so funny. You said Monty's, and I laugh because whenever I hear like the word Monty now, it makes me go back to Eddie Murphy and the Golden Child. I don't know why, but did you see Golden Child back in the day with Eddie Murphy? And
at the
he's
theater,
like on the game show, and he's like Monty because he's like calling like Monty Hall.
Yeah. I got the knife. Yeah.
Let him ask it. Yeah. I want the knife. Yeah. Please. Yeah. Oh my God. I still get a kick out of that movie. I don't care what anybody says. But Starbase Brewing ferments first beer in space on the international station. I saw you come across this one here. So this was an interesting one as well. So shall we beam up to this story? Yeah, so the Microbrew 1 launched to the International Space Station in August, and it returned to Earth like a week later. And the beer they fermented is now going to be analyzed across like some different universities. And so it's intriguing. I'm sure we're not going to be able to get our hands on it because their space is limited up there, but I thought that was just interesting to see that they're trying to do this in space and to see how it would ferment up there. So I thought that was like a pretty cool story. That is pretty cool. I mean, literally, I do the beer stuff and I say, I'm trying this beer and I'm doing it for science, but these guys are literally doing it for science. I mean, now granted, the space station goes a little bit beyond the Midwest. But maybe a little bit. Maybe the space station hovers over the Midwest when they were fermenting part of this. But I just thought, oh, wow, that's kind of cool. Yeah. No, that is kind of cool because, I was like, you got to know how beer's going to travel. And it says like down here, while Mars is the ultimate goal, Starbase beers are currently only distributed in Texas and Cape Canaveral, Florida. Yeah. Also, I guess you can get in those spots, though. Over the next few years, the brewery plans to expand distribution nationwide. All right. Yeah, you better have some money behind you. If they can afford to send it up to space to ferment, then you've got some big bucks behind you. Yeah, call Uncle Elon and get a loan there. Yeah. Well, that'd be kind of interesting, I mean, anywhere that we're going to go, we're going to have beer. This beer's got to be part of it. I mean, even the Pilgrims had to stop because they were out of beer. So just pull over. We're out of beer. Pull over where? You see that rock on the hill? Go over to that rock. Go over to that rock and stop there. See if we can grow some beer around here. Let's see here. Okay, so I'll pull this one up here. So yeah, I mentioned earlier this week I actually had the chance to get out to Mantry Brewing, and I was invited out to an event they actually held in commemoration with the launch of their new collaboration project with New Riff Distilling. New Riff does some great bourbon. If you're doing bourbon, you've probably heard of New Riff because they kind of blown up across the country from out of here in northern Kentucky. But they came out with the Ravens Riff, and it's a Ravens with Sway Bourbon Highball Edition. So Sway is done by Mantry as like a vodka and seltzer type drink.
All right.
Now they just went ahead and did like the seltzer or soda or whatever, and they did it with the bourbon to get New Riff on board. And I got to tell you, it's kind of got a nice feel to it. It's 8% ABV, and it pretty much drinks almost like an old fashioned, but not as astringent as like an old fashioned.
All right.
It's got a nice refreshing quality to it. Goes down real easy. I was really surprised how to knock it back, because sometimes with some of these drinks, they can get a little bit, for me, too seltzery. This one was really a nice one to do, even if it was a little warm when we were doing it Wednesday night, but it was still decent enough. And as the weather breaks, I could definitely see where having this sitting around like a fire pit or something like that, everything just putting your feet up, these will go down really nice.
Now, is that like a seltzer type beverage or more of like a malt type beverage?
This is more like a seltzer type beverage.
Okay.
They actually did. I won't say seltzer or soda water. Definitely get this seltzery type. I think of it as a seltzery type feel, but you're getting the orange and the cherry coming through as if it's like a, now they call it a bourbon highball, but to me, it reminds me just of an old fashioned that's coming through with some of the flavor with it, which I like and stuff. So it was nice. It was, the can they got here is what had there. I forgot how many ounces. It was like 500 milliliter, 300 milliliters, whatever it is. I know ounces. I don't know the milliliters. I'm just,
it's sharp artwork. I love the artwork on that can.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's like the raven in the background and stuff like that. And Sway has been a big line for Mantry. Again, meeting the consumers where they are. So they have a bunch of these different drinks that are more designed for your Gen Zs or your millennials that may not want beer. Here's another option you actually have. So they're doing the right things over there. It was funny. We were talking about some of the breweries, me and one of the other guys that were there. Like Mantry always seems to have a steady crowd coming through because they got so many different things with so many different people, versus some of the other ones that seem to struggle because they're just doing just the beer, or they're doing just the beer and spirits. They don't have the NA. They don't have the seltzer. It's just, you got to be able to have something for everyone. And like I mentioned there to somebody, if I got 10 people going out, and 2 people don't want to drink, they want NA options. If they say, well, this one has NA and this one doesn't, you're not losing those 2 people. You're losing those 10 people. Yeah. Because the whole group is going together where everybody can have a good time, right? So that's got to be in the back of the mind of some of these spots. But it was a great time, great event, well put together. And thanks again to Mantry and New Riff for having me out for that. And if you get a chance to check it out and you're into like the bourbon type feel, would definitely say give that one a go. And the Sways, I think, are pretty much wide distribution. I don't know how far they go out, but they're definitely getting out from just here in the Ohio area. He says, I have to say, I'm not sorry the Green Post closed. The place had a lot of problems. Now, what is the Green Post? That's got to be some spot in Chicago there.
Yeah, that was not that far from where we were just talking about. Mm-hmm. And that was it the Northman or the company that took over the Northman that opened up the Green Post? But they wanted to be like a place that would be open like all day. You could sit there and like work from there. They would show Premier League soccer games on. They were open early. I never had a chance to go there. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that far, but it's like, I'll day drink, but I ain't day drinking that early.
I have limits.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if it was Northman or if it was the place that took over for them, and I can't think of their name now, but I think they were partners.
Okay. And JT says, one of my sociopathic chef friends once told me he wanted to raise veal into orbit. Would it change? Would it change the texture of the meat or something? That's kind of interesting. Why in orbit? Just because nobody's done it, maybe. Do you have to have a reason? I don't know if you do. I don't know if you do. So one of the other things that came out this week, more on a national scale, I would say kind of like a big news type thing because people were looking forward to this, I know. Kind of teased about it earlier, but Lagunitas. And I give them props for doing the right thing here. Their Born Yesterday will not be releasing due to a batch that did not meet the standards. So they decided to pull it. They're going to have just some stuff at their local one at Petaluma, a couple kegs I think they got. So you have to go local to actually get it. But rather than putting a bad product out on the market, they decided to go ahead and dump everything. And I got to give them mad respect for that because some places will still try to put it out there. And you end up hurting the name. You heard up, Lagunitas has already come under I won't say under total fire, but definitely some people that were upset with the whole Chicago type thing when they shut down and pulled up stakes and, them being under kind of like Heineken Europe now and all this kind of stuff. But, mad respect for them to actually making the right call and not going to put it out there. I know one time here locally talking with the owners of Urban Artifact, they had something happen before where they did the same thing rather than putting out a bad product. And, it's sad because I do like the Born Yesterday. I don't know how you feel about that. I know a lot of people I said we're looking forward to is the Wet Hop Ale, but that would not be out there this year.
Yeah. I mean, I have to respect their decision. I mean, I'm sure they lost a ton of money, but that just gives like respect to them. All right. That's cool. I mean, other breweries have had to dump stuff before. I remember back 10, 15 years ago, there was a reality show about Dogfish Head. And there was like one thing, I don't know, I forget the beer, if it was like Dogfish Head 90 or something like that, but there was something bad and they just had to like dump the whole thing because they're like, it doesn't meet our standards and we'd rather not release an inferior product out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Sam is on my list as the next guy I need to meet as well, too. So.
Yeah.
as I
got your in with guys. Jim.
Yeah. I got in with Jim now, and I got to get in with Sam as well.
Yeah.
But it's, like I said, it was the right move on their part, so I applaud them for that. And I'll still drink Lagunitas here and there, too. Like I said, I tried to buy Born Yesterday, but I was like, is this year's last? And so luckily I checked it, and it wasn't. But they still made some good stuff. It's so funny, like reading the different comments they had on their page when they released that statement. Like someone responded, well, if you would have made it in Chicago, it wouldn't have went bad. So, there was still a little bit of a knife dig there.
Yeah.
But some people were like, well, bring back Lucky 13 or bring back, brown sugar. Everybody was kind of like commenting on other beers they actually wanted to see Lagunitas come out with that haven't been out there for years. But brown sugar was a good one they had out there.
Yeah, brown sugar was a good beer.
Yeah, and the Lagunitas Undercover was one of my favorites too that they had when they released that. So, yeah, there's some good stuff they have. So we'll see. But yeah, kudos to them for making the right choice. JT says, my problem with Green Post was the crappy management, but yeah, they run Northman and used to run Fountainhead.
All right.
And Big Daddy in the house, cheers, homie. Oh, look at that. He's drinking the Dogfish Head. He's drinking the Raisin Detra from their fall rewind pack, 8%. Nice blast from the past. Yes. I've never had that one, but I've always heard good things about that one. A veal calf raised in a weightless environment would have no muscle mass, only the tenderest flesh. Oh, but that's so unspeakably inhumane and makes foie gras seem like cotton candy. Alan says, I had a purple haze before. I really liked it at the time. I haven't seen many beers you haven't liked, Alan. Just saying. Oh, what up, Daddy-O? And cheers. One flight down. There you go. So, yeah. So that was something that took place there. A cool thing happening right now here in Cincinnati was one that was also just came out recently, is that the brewery district is looking to bring the brewery Museum of Brewing, the Museum of Brewing to Cincinnati, which will be a pretty cool thing to have. Again, Cincinnati has a very heavy beer heritage if you're not familiar. And just get this ad off the screen. And so they are looking to now team up to get this done. there's no release date for it yet, but with the history of brewing through Cincinnati and some of the things happening here, they feel like it might be a good spot to try to get this done. So I'm looking forward to see how this all goes. They are going to have a sneak peek at some of the stuff like next weekend, I think, the 9th through the 12th, where you can actually see some different things they're looking to put on with it as well. But that's cool. It's kind of like, there's no American Museum of Brewing. Why not put it here in Cincinnati? Yeah.
That's it.
And if you ever come to
have them
Cincinnati,
hook up with Marty and get the Hall of Fame down there or something.
Yeah. And like they had the exhibit taking place here October 9th through the 12th in the Lager and Cellars of the Jackson Brewery at Over the Rhine. And if you haven't been to Cincinnati before, to kind of just take into beer culture, like for instance, they have like underground, like beer tours and stuff through some of the tunnels that were built under Cincinnati that the breweries used to run. They have different things taking place at the different breweries, the heritage through the area. I mean, this is one of the reasons why Jim Cook came back to Cincinnati, knowing the brewing heritage and him from Cincinnati, that he wanted to come back to the city and actually do what he could to add into the heritage of it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of great stuff down here, whether you're coming for Oktoberfest or any of the other things. If you're a beer person, you're going to have fun if you come to Cincinnati, just the different stuff that we're doing.
And Jungle Gyms.
So, yeah, I'm looking for and Jungle Gyms, which is, anybody's been to Jungle Gyms, last time I was there with Todd and Shannon and their friends and people that come down to Jungle Gyms have been amazed by all that's available. And again, I use the story of buddy Tom, the Beer Whisperer. If you haven't checked out the Beer Whisperer channel on YouTube, check him out. That he came in from Missouri and was so flabbergasted, he pretty much threw his hands up and said, I'm done. I'm leaving. I can't buy anymore. And his wife was trying to show him some other beers that he usually likes. He's like, no, I'm done. Just let's go. Like that. So, if you go to a beer store where people have to tap out, you're doing something right. So that's worth the trip alone to come down and check out Jungle Gyms.
And you said they had other stuff too, like hot sauces and cheeses and stuff like that too?
Yeah, so they have a hot sauce room or a corner of the store that is bigger than most people's offices. That is just different hot sauce from around the world on different things. It's like, broken out, cayenne, serrano, whatever type thing, blah, blah, blah. And it's just amazing. It's all the different hot sauces. But then they also have all this other like things that you can get there from the candy section. It's just like, if you were a kid that loved these candies when you were a kid, like you'll find different candies there. Like, I didn't really make these anymore. And you'll find these different candies, right? The food section, the international stuff they get for like fish, like they get fish, not just fish here, but they get fish from around the world. So there's stuff you may have had overseas one time and you never seen, but like you can now get that. It's just like people come in like crazy. And it's just like, it was funny because one of Todd and Shannon's friends, she had bought like, what did she put in her cart? She put in like, I don't know, it was something like flank steak or something. Yeah. And they're like, you can get that in Louisville. It's like, but you can't get the Jungle Gyms one in Louisville, can't you? Like, she was just like, it's like, okay, well, okay, you can take that and drive back, come out. Yeah. So it's just like, it's just so much stuff. Like my wife will not go with me to Jungle Gyms because she just knows like the beer adventure alone. She's not going to be waiting around that long. Plus, they got a great cigar section. If you're a cigar smoker, they have a liquor store that's attached if you want to get spirits and stuff. And they do these crazy type deals on things. So it's kind of just like you have a blast in there. I mean, you'll be in there for 2-3 hours. I didn't even realize it. It's just like, I can't believe we've been here that long. So, yeah.
What's longer, like a trip to IKEA or a trip to Jungle Gyms?
I've never went to the IKEAs that we have here, but for me, it'll be Jungle Gyms.
All right.
Now, part of it, too, is if you go to Jungle Gyms, we have beer on tap. So you can actually buy beer while you're shopping. Literally, when you go in, some people aren't even shopping. They're just there to drink beers. Like, there's no cart. There's nothing with them. They're just at the beer tables just drinking beer. Like, and we have it at Kroger here, the local Kroger stores. Like, on Sunday, you go in during the football game. They're not even grocery shopping. You're at a grocery store. No, they're just there drinking beer like it's a bar. You know, because at Kroger, it's like you get stuff on tap, $4, a 12-ounce, $5 or $6. Like, they'll have stuff on there. Like, Bourbon County was on there one time on tap. I'm like, yeah, Bourbon County on tap for like $6 a drink or whatever. Yeah, I'm going to sit here for a bit and just enjoy this, right?
Like the Mariano's by us that's owned by Kroger.
Mm-hmm.
And and I haven't been to this one in a while, but like you could drink there and they had a full bar, but it was just stuff that was on cans and in bottles that they sold. So I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is with our Kroger here, they have about like 10 or 12 taps. I didn't realize this, but they also have cans where you can make your own 6-pack.
Yeah.
So literally, you can go over and grab a single and bring it back, and they just charge you for that at the bar. They pour it in the glass for you. I didn't even know you could do that, like off tap. But yeah, but they get good stuff on tap. Like, when I was shopping there one day, I was like, do I want to stop and just sit here and enjoy this Bourbon County on tap when I'm trying to get shit done? It's like Bourbon County on tap. It's kind of like
you have to.
You,
I mean,
you
how do
can't
you
go
say
wrong.
no?
You just say no,
Yeah.
right? So, but Jungle Gyms, they're more accommodating because they put a drink holder in your cart. So you can still go around the store with the beer holder in there, which is awesome. Kroger hasn't done that yet. I'm like, Kroger, come on, customer satisfaction. Let's get that drink holder in the cart. But you'll see people walking around through the store with pint glasses. I'm like, don't drop that, man. Don't be that person. Yeah, but they do it. So God bless
think
Ohio.
we got a couple stories left. I think I'm going to close out with a barrel age. So I will be right back in 60 seconds.
Going with the barrel.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's going to get that here. I'm going to grab another story here because this is kind of interesting. So this is actually not as much Midwest as it is more Pennsylvania and maybe some eastward, I would say. But this is dealing with the whole situation that took place with Iron Hill Brewery and Restaurant. And this was an interesting one. If I can pull it up here. There we go. So Iron Hill had announced how they were closing their location. They were closing all their locations. They put a note on the door. Thanks, gratitude, blah, blah, blah. But it was kind of like harsh on how they didn't tell the employees they were going to be closing. It's like literally the employees did not know. They get like an email, hey, don't come to work today. We're not open anymore. Like, what? Like, I just feel like that was just so cold of them to actually.
Yeah, that's shitty.
I mean, because when you're getting close to stuff possibly happening, like you can give a heads up, hey, if we don't get things going, we might be closing in a week or 2 weeks or a month or just like one day, bam, like, and everybody was like locked out, like we're done. Like,
and that's a decision that's made weeks, months before.
Right.
That's nothing. Nobody woke up on a Tuesday. We're just going to shut the whole thing down. No.
Right. Yeah. And I've had Iron Hill in the past, and I enjoyed some of the stuff they done. I just feel like that was just so dirty on how they, like I told people, it's kind of like you're that employee and you find out, like, if you were an athlete, it'd be like watching ESPN and seeing across the ticker, oh, you've been traded. Yeah. Like they didn't call you. They didn't tell you. Just like, hey, you're not a 49er anymore. You're a Brown now.
Or it's like, what's that one meme from Hard Knocks a couple years ago when the Jets were on there and the guy's like, key card didn't work anymore. He got cut.
Yeah.
And that's like a Jets thing to do because I'm a Jets fan too.
Yeah. Well, it's like the $2.
Oh my God, is this good?
What is that? Is that the
vanilla?
Vanilla Deeth. Oh,
just came out today.
Look at that.
Oh, it's good.
I bet it is. Deeth tar alone is solid. So anything with Deeth on it, yeah.
Yeah. So they came out with this today, the regular Deeth Star, and then the Cafe Deeth, which is a coffee version. Oh my God, this vanilla is just phenomenal. Imperial stout aged in bourbon barrels with vanilla. You don't really need to put the ABV on this. It's good. Yeah, it's not 4. It starts with a 1.
It's like you don't need to put the calories on a cheesecake, man. We know it's over. We already know. Like, they'll make me feel guilty about eating it.
Yeah. A tapestry of vanilla and oak. I don't know if it does have the ABV on it. It might have it on the box itself, but yeah, that's good.
Revolution does all right by me. So yeah. That's a nice smooth one to take you into the evening.
Yeah.
But the Iron Hill, that's just kind of dirty. That's all I'm gonna say. That's just kind of dirty to do your people like that. And then it's like that from that Mad TV old skit. And then so Warp Wing out of Dayton, Ohio. Shout out to them. They actually just launched their Midwest Roots Red IPA. And this is something you can actually see over on the blog at rodjbeerventures.com. By the way, if you're not following that, this is where a lot of the news stories go. So you might want to check out the site there. But they did a collaboration for the Midwest Roots Red IPA. And I'm a big fan of Red IPA. Black IPA, Red IPA. You don't see a lot of them. So when people come out with them, it definitely gets my attention. I know Big Daddy, big fan of Nafarastu and their double red. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one actually checks out. They collaborated with DLM Bakery and Morrison for the beer that got done. And if you want to read more about it, check it out on the website. But it's kind of nice because, we call this the Midwest Beer Show because there's a lot of stuff happening through the Midwest. But now we're getting recognized like this with the Midwest Red IPA versus like you have like the Midwest IPA from Great Lakes. I feel like the Midwest is starting to gain some momentum and being recognized as being a spot for beer, right? People
we have a spot here that you get your West Coast and East Coast. We got a place here in Illinois that does their Midwest Coast, which is a really good. I mean, it's a great beer. Yeah,
and it's kind of like obviously we know the Midwest use like that flyover, right? Because it's coast to coast, but there's a lot of stuff happening if you land a plane down here in the Midwest. Just saying, a lot of good stuff taking place. We're so split Chicago world-class breweries everywhere. Yeah, Chicago does have world. That's funny. Ginger Yeti, you checked out his channel. Check him out here on YouTube. He's actually up in Dayton right now, but he's from Cleveland. He's just making his way down to the 450 Corn Maze taking place this weekend at 450 North. He was just surprised about some of the how good the beers there were coming around from Ohio where he's at, like down there. Because it's just like, it's like Cincinnati, Dayton, Columbus, Cleveland, Akron, Toledo. There's a lot of breweries that are putting out some really good beers. And obviously in Illinois, you're seeing it there with the stuff you got taking place. We know Michigan puts out great beers. Yeah. We know that Minnesota puts out great beers. There's just so many good things happening in the Midwest. So,
and really, frankly, it's all over. I mean, you get places like you wouldn't think about, like, Alabama. I had some great beers from Alabama that my cousin sent to me. I'm like, God, it's the one thing you would never think about. And sometimes you get spoiled and you have this like big city attitude. But like you get beers from places like that, you're like, God damn, this is good.
Yeah. It's good stuff being put out. And it's just that's the fun of craft beer. That's the whole thing. Being able to see all the different beers that are taking place from all over. Speaking of all over, you get one giant to pair up with I say one giant with another giant in theory, but not maybe giant as a brewery or whatever, but basically everybody knows who they are. You get Sierra Nevada teaming up with Russian River. And they're coming out with the Brewers Retreat for 2025. Stout aged in bourbon barrels. This is one hitting 13.2% ABV. Might be one you want to look out for if you happen to see it out there, because I'm thinking since Sierra Nevada's involved, it should have some pretty good distribution. Versus if it was just Russian River and you had to be on the West Coast for it. Go ahead.
I mean, and both places aren't known for their barrel-aged stouts. So, I mean, that would not be the beer I would think of. I would think of if Sierra and Russian River are going to hook up, it's going to be, something like a Pliny or something like that. So this is really intriguing, but
Well, you
Just
got to
the-
think Sierra. I mean, they got the Bigfoot legacy, so they're known
Yeah.
for their big barley wine.
but I mean, this
Yeah.
can't be a bad beer. I
No,
mean, this has to be phenomenal. And Craft Beer and Brewing Magazine, which is one of my favorite magazines, I subscribe to that. So, yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see if I can get that 16.9 ounce bottles. So stay tuned for the full release details, but it is on the way. I still got to do Pliny at some point. I've never done the Pliny, but
Oh, and you know, speaking of flyover country, I mean, Pliny, obviously, Rush River, Santa Rosa, California. You can get it in California. You could get it in Pennsylvania. Like they skipped everything all the way to Pennsylvania. I'm like, you go over Illinois, you go over Ohio. What's up?
yeah.
But like my buddy Floyd, who's in Pennsylvania, he's like, oh, yeah, I get Pliny out here. I'm like, what? He's like, oh, yeah, we get it out here. I have actually another Sierra Nevada story that came to me late.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Here we go.
Where the hell was it? They're doing their Ruthless Rye, which I love. I
love their Ruthless Rye. Yes.
they're going to come out with a barrel age version of that. Like, sign me up for that. So they're doing, it's called Friends of the Family. It's a barrel age Ruthless Rye in collaboration with St. George Spirits. Going to be a 9.8%. Like, Ruthless Rye is one of my top 10 beers.
Yeah.
Like, if usually you can't get it by itself. If they bring it out, it's in like a variety pack. Like sometimes you get that at Costco, and I love Ruthless Rye, but a barrel age version, oh yeah,
Oh yeah. Put that down for sure.
yeah.
I wanted to see when the last time I had Ruthless. It's been a while. Because I think I got it in one of the variety packs back in the day.
Yeah, I think the last time I had that, I was at like a Binny's or Costco and bought like a case because it was in there.
Let's see here.
I think it was in a mixed pack with Torpedo and something else, which is still a good beer. But I'm like, oh yeah, Ruthless Rye, keep it coming.
Jeez, was it that long ago? 2014.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it's been a while. The 2014 version, I had the 2013 version. But did they have it since then in a while?
Yeah, it's come out since then. I had it a couple years ago in a variety pack.
Yeah, someone had it earlier this year, Ruthless Rye IPA as well. Now it's been a minute, but I did enjoy that one.
Been a minute. Obama was president the last time you had that.
Yeah, I skipped some years along the way. I blanked out on some.
Yeah.
Oh, I still wear my Air Force Ones.
It's like Mike Tomlin. I'm not a Steeler fan, but I like Mike Tomlin a lot. He's like, never F with a man who's wearing black Air Force Ones.
Right.
Yeah.
What's up, Ryan? Cheers, my friends.
Hey.
Cincy Brew Dads, appreciate you.
Yeah.
Ryan got to meet Ryan at the Oktoberfest. If you haven't checked out Cincy Brew Dads here on YouTube, check them out as well. But another local video podcasters, broadcasters.
I think we just started following each other over on Instagram. I'll have to check out their YouTube stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And should do some stuff with them upcoming here as well. But great guys there. And it's Ruthless Barrel Age, sign me up for it. I'm definitely on board for sure. But yeah, this one here with the Russian River collab. Oh,
yeah.
Let me find that.
Yeah.
let me clear my throat. Oh, let's see here. Then we got the government shutdown thing. I'm going to actually let you go ahead and do this one here because I'm going to actually run to the bathroom real quick.
Well,
because I've been drinking these stovepipes.
And we're not going to get political on this, but there's a government shutdown. And how it's going to affect breweries is that, the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Tax Trade Bureau they're scaled down. It's like a bare bones minimum staff. So for breweries that are putting out like their recipes and their beer labels, you're not going to get anything done. So nothing new is going to happen down the road because the agency's not going to be able to approve the label for the bottles or the cans or like the recipe. So in the short term, that could be an issue when they come back. Whenever this reopens, you're going to have a backlog. So, hopefully breweries, and this was rumored to be happening for months. So hopefully there was nothing like really new that they were planning. But like if you're a brewery that has some fresh hopped IPA that you're just waiting on a label approval, that might not be fresh hopped anymore. So it's not cool. According to this is from the Brewers Association. It just says like here, be prepared for significant delays in approvals even after the shutdown ends. It's going to face like a backlog of applications. Stay in touch with your agency contact. So, I mean, it's not cool. And we've had government shutdowns before. Usually they only last a few days. So hopefully clearer heads will prevail and we'll get things up. But if this lasts more than a couple weeks, it's going to affect breweries, and breweries can't afford to have any more bad shit happening to them this year.
I do concur with that for sure. Now, my latest thing is that this is pushing into next week at least, right? And Congress is actually out right now. I say Congress as far as the House of Representatives, but this may carry in for a bit. The last shutdown was like 37 days, I think, so it'll be interesting to see, but it definitely does hit the brewing industry on things being held up, labeling, and all that kind of stuff, and it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Need to
They be coming with a new beer called the Epstein Files. Oh no, never mind.
Well, you can do it. You can do an Epstein Eisbach.
Yeah. They're the Juan Epstein Files. Bring it back to Welcome Back, Connor. I got a note. The Juan Epstein Files. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a note from Epstein's mother.
But I'm actually glad you brought this up because I do know a person that I've become friends with there that actually met through the conference, that she's actually very involved in a lot of the TTB stuff. So good to reach out to her, maybe get a live stream going on seeing how this may affect things. I'll have to send her an email this weekend, see if we can get her on kind of talking about some of this, and what she's kind of talking with breweries on and stuff. But it's interesting. It sucks, but
yeah,
it's kind of where we're at right now as a part of the cycle.
Yeah, speaking of sucks, I'm off of work right now. I'll be back to work next week with this elbow and arm and all that. But I reached out to a buddy of mine at TSA. So I'm like, what's going on? He's like, we could elect to come into work. We don't get paid. He's like, once the government shutdown is over, we'll get like a lump check for the days we didn't get paid. But he's like, right now, most everyone's coming to work because they just want that check when it gets back. Because the government's going to reopen sooner or later. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later. But but there's a lot of people that right now, a lot of government employees, they're not at work. What aren't they doing? Going to breweries.
Well, no, they're watching what they're spending. Like I was watching a story earlier tonight on the news, and there was one lady that worked for HUD, and her husband worked for one of the other federal agencies, and both of them were kind of in that position. So they're like, she's saying, going through our bills, seeing what we can pay or not have to pay right now until we get this all figured out. And obviously, beer could be on the cutting block because beer is something. Beer's a want, not a need. So anything that's a want,
Well, it is for us.
But. Yeah, it is a need for us. So, I always think that the first season of True Detective. I don't know if you watch True Detective on HBO. with Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson in the first season, and Woody Harrelson's getting interviewed. And he's like, well, today is Wednesday. Wednesday's my drinking day. If you want me to talk, you need to get me some. He's in there drinking Lone Star beers while he's being interrogated. He's like, like, I'm drinking regardless. So
yeah,
you don't give me a drink, I ain't talking. So yeah. But no, it's going to be interesting to see what takes place going forward here. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, it doesn't help. And that with the tariff type stuff, yeah, some headwinds for sure. You know, I mentioned a while back, for those of you that follow me on the Facebook page, you probably have seen where I mentioned it a while back. Pull it up here. Why isn't my thing doing that? There we go. I'm down here. You know, we're only into the first weekend of October, but I told you guys pretty soon it's going to happen because the brewing industry and beers themselves don't wait for anybody.
No.
Chris's beer's already here.
Oh my God.
So Jackie O's had their Christmas beer rolling out this week, which, you know, I'm not going to lie. I do like their Christmas beer. They actually have a special batch of their Chamalunga that came out. But we also have, with the next week or two, I think Great Lakes tapping their Christmas ale.
Yeah.
I think Mad Elf is due out in the next couple of weeks as well. You try to find seasons. Seasons don't make sense anymore when it comes to beer.
Yeah.
You know, you try to go Oktoberfest, you go to pumpkin, and then you go to Christmas. No, you got them all mixed, intermingled at this point. Mm-hmm. So the Christmas beers are hitting the shelves. Prepare yourself. But if you happen to see this one from Jackie O's, I'm going to tell you, it's a pretty good beer.
All right.
It's a pretty good one to actually pick up.
I mean, it's still... What's the temperature here in Chicago right now?
Yeah.
It's 73, but it was 88 today.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a Christmas beer at 88. I don't even like doing an Oktoberfest beer at 88, but they're going to be gone soon, so you have to.
I mean, the
88.
last review I uploaded was the Beer Cheer from, I forgot what brewery it was, up in Northern Ohio, but it was their holiday Christmas. And it's like, I had it here, like, I need to drink it, do the review. And I tell you what, I wasn't ready for it, but it was damn good. And it was one of the cooler type nights. I'm like, I know I'm jumping the gun here. I'm going Christmas Story. I'm skipping the double dog dare. I'm going to the triple dog dare. But damn it, it was actually pretty tasty. So I wouldn't turn away a Christmas beer right now, but I'm not in a hurry to actually try them. But
yeah,
they are coming out at this point. So
we got 80s here. We got 80s here over the weekend. And starting like Tuesday and Wednesday in Chicago, the high temperature is going to be in the 60s. So it's still not Christmas beer when it's 68 degrees. Yeah. That's going to be more your pumpkin beer, your Oktoberfest when it gets down to the 50s at night.
Right.
That's good sleeping weather. Not Christmas beer weather.
Yeah, I've done the bus tour in Chicago in October before, but it was actually whipping around a little bit. So you guys have the coldness come through pretty quickly. Yeah. The second or third week, but not there yet. Not there yet.
Yeah, it's funny because like our FOBAB Festival of Barrel Aged Beers is early November this year. When I talked to people at the Illinois Craft Brewers Guild this week for an upcoming episode, I'm like, I'm not thinking barrel aged beers right now. I mean, it's hot. I mean, I'm having one now because it came out, but it's hot. And, she was like, just wait 4 weeks. I'm sure you'll be in a parka and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, before you know it, we'll have the Bourbon County coming out. We'll have the Epic Big Bad Bats coming out. What's their lineup for 2025 looks fantastic, by the way, if you haven't seen it. So yeah, the barrel aged stuff will be rolling out with the bourbon barrels, and I'm hoping more adventure takes place where it's not just all just bourbon barrel stuff. Like I want to see more like gin barrel and tequila barrel stuff because I've had beers that I've done that in the past. Get some of that stuff. Get some of the Cabernet barrel type things, some of the wine type things. So I had the one from Jackie O's I did a review on a few weeks back that was wine grape fermented, and it was so tasty. I'm like, get some more of that kind of stuff going on.
Well, you you could drive up. It's on a Saturday for Fobab. You more than welcome. If you like dogs, you could hang here. My casa, su casa. You could stay here overnight.
Fobab is definitely on the list to get to.
Yeah.
To get up for that event as well. So that is on the list. That is out there. I gotta definitely do that.
I mean, my dog will want you to pet her all night, but hey, my place is your place, bro. Yeah.
Moira Rose likes attention, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm the beer fridge right here. You know the layout. Yeah.
And I'm long overdue to get to Bad Apple. So you're not that far from it either. So yeah. Ryan says we're just now fully into pumpkin beers. Too soon to think about Christmas beers. It does feel that way, but I just had, like I said earlier before you got on, Ryan, I had my first pumpkin beer this week when I was at Mantry. I had their PSL, which, Ryan, if you get a chance to go by Mantry and you haven't had the PSL, it's a blonde coffee pumpkin ale. Mantry nails it on that one. So if you get a chance to swing by there and check that one out. But I'm just starting to kind of feel to get into it. But I still got Oktoberfest. So I'm like this is my Oktoberfest time.
Yeah.
Pumpkin is usually like that second or third week before Halloween hits. And then I get to Christmas afterwards, right? Going into November. But brewers don't care. They just don't care.
No.
They just throw shit out there and like, hey, it's here right now. Take it or leave it.
Yeah. It's fermented. It's ready. Here we go.
And then they put that damn title on it. Limited.
Yeah.
Limited. Like, I got to get it now.
It's like, God damn, I got to buy this.
Between you and Stone and Joy Buy, what the hell?
That was fucking brilliant, though, by Stone.
Yeah.
That started the whole drink fresh thing. When they came out with that 12, 13 years ago, everybody, I mean,
here's your date. Enjoy by 1/1, right? The next year, right? So enjoy by Christmas Day. Enjoy by July 4th. Yeah.
Or 4/20. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, well played, Stone. Well played.
Yeah.
Christmas beer is always tolerable to me. Something you drink because it's Christmas, not because you want it. So
yeah, but you know what though? There's a lot that I look forward to.
Yeah.
Great Lakes Christmas. Rest in peace, Anchor Christmas. That was something I just grabbed. I didn't care. I loved Anchor Christmas.
Well, a lot of people celebration you mentioned earlier. A lot of people consider that Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many good ones that are out there. But yeah, if it's 80 degrees, I'm not drinking Christmas.
Yeah. So the beer I'm going to crack open right now, and this is one I had the other day when I was having a cigar. The review will be up on it at some point here. I'm going to try to get that done this weekend. Is going to be from out of Cleveland. It is from Masthead Brewing. It is their double jalapeno double IPA. This one comes in at 8.2% ABV. And let me tell you, if you are a pepperhead, you want this beer. This beer is fantastic.
Usually I'm called a peckerhead, but yeah.
Yeah, this beer was I had their base jalapeno, so when I saw this, it was like, as Dave would say, put it in the cart. It wasn't even a second guess about it. It was like, give me the 4-pack. So that's what I did. And it was actually one of the last 2 4-packs they actually had. So look at that. Yeah. Oh, poor air. Yeah. Lots of carbonation. Nice spice kick. I'm a big fan of jalapeno peppers, though. So
I just can't do it in beer.
It's so good. It's so good. You get more vitamin C out of a jalapeno than you do an orange.
I'll deal with the scurvy. It's okay.
I like it. It's got that little hot spice to it. Ryan says, speaking of pumpkin beers, you have to try Safley Vanilla Pumpkin Ale. I have not. I've had the Safley Pumpkin before, but that's a vanilla pumpkin. Safley did a pretty good job with it. Mad Trio Tuesday, so I'll check it. Oh, definitely. Cool. Well, if you guys want to connect or something, let me know whenever you're down there. I'm actually 10 minutes from Mad Tree. So I got Mad Tree near me. I've got West Side near me. I got 9 Giant near me. And I've also got now Braxton at Factory 52 with High Wire there as well. So, and I've got what's the one that begins with an F? I almost want to say Fremont, but that's Vegas. What is the other brewery that's over there? Factory 52.
I'm going to grab one more. I'll be right back.
Okay. Why am I drawing a blank? What is that brewery? I can't remember offhand now. I got to. Factory 52. I can't think of it. It's the one that's tied with Peter Frampton to it. You're probably thinking before I do, Ryan, but yeah, if you end up like you guys are going out there, you want to try to connect, let me know. It's just me though, but if there's cinnamon in beer, I'm less likely to choose. Really? So you're not a fan, JT, of some of the holiday beers where they have like the cinnamon and they have the nutmeg, and that all comes through. Like the cheer that I just had, that had that actually taking place. Cheers to Ryan from JT. Yes, fretboard. Fretboard's out there as well. So I need to get out there too. I haven't had a fretboard beer in a while. Coolest thing I saw about fretboard one time, I did one of the Cincinnati Beer Fest. Fretboard, they have a tie with one of their owners to Peter Frampton, and Peter had actually given him one of his guitars in the past. They actually ran the keg line through the guitar. We had it at Cincinnati Beer Fest down at the Reds Ballpark one year. It was one of the coolest things I've seen there. I'm with Dave. I love and grow a bunch of super hot beers, but assume put them in my hot sauces and sauces on my beer. Grew super hot peppers. Unless you put the super hot beers into them. So I like it. Now, some beers can overdo it on the pepper, so to speak. I've had some that were like too spicy of a kick. I had one that was a Serrano beer one time that was just like a little bit more than what it needed to be. I also had the habanero sculpin back in the day, and that one was like, not as enjoyable as you would imagine it to be. But I've had some that have done really well. This one included. Like it in my oatmeal, though. Wait a minute. You like the jalapeno in the oatmeal? A little spicy? A bit of a purist.
Wait,
I like
JT
beers with
likes
just pork-fried ingredients.
hot sauce in his oatmeal? Dude, go back to that.
No, that was KO. I think.
Oh, all right, KO.
But I'm like, you like jalapeno in the oatmeal? I never had that before. I think that's what you were saying, KO. If not, let me know, because that's what we were talking about with jalapeno.
I mean, I just went to take a leak. I mean, I missed a lot.
Take a leak, miss a lot, yeah. Oh, JT with the four traditional ingredients. You gotta mix it up a little bit. JT's going rice gambot on the beers.
Well, I thought I was going to close at barrel age, but I'm going to close staying in the Midwest with Three Floyds and Pig Destroyer.
Oh.
So I saw this one today. I'm like, all right, let's give it a whirl.
I have not seen that one yet.
Yeah, I haven't either. This is Imperial. Oh, shit. 10.5%. All right, I'm sleeping on the couch. But yeah. All right.
So let's look at this one here, because this is actually one Dave tried to hit on earlier, but I was like, wait, we'll get there. Yeah. So out of Chicago, you guys have a lot of stuff happening this weekend.
Oh, yes, we do. St. Ben's, Benfest is like coming up. There's like a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, so it's Chicago this weekend with the beer, the Lederhosen Carnival rides. It was
Apple Fest is this. I don't think it's on there, but Apple Fest is in my neighborhood right down Lincoln Avenue. So they always have some good apple donuts, apple fritters. You have like cider companies that are out there. It's one of like the big fests in my neighborhood. Apple Fest is always like a great time. So that'll be this weekend. We're going to try to get there maybe tomorrow and hit that up, but that's a lot of fun.
Well, you got the one down here for Moira Rose, the dog-friendly Barktoberfest. That's in Chicago.
My dog
Out
is
at Cody's.
antisocial, Rod. My dog takes more anxiety and depression medication than I do. My dog's on Prozac. She's on Trazodone. My dog loves people. So, like, if you come for Fobab, Moira Rose is going to love you. She don't like other dogs.
I mean, for
Moira
$6
don't
beers,
play. Yeah.
for $6 beers, maybe she can tolerate it. And you got a German buffet of sausages, sauerkraut, pretzels, and brats.
Oh. Who doesn't love a good brat, though?
Right. Malt Row for celebration.
Yeah.
As well, Beguile Brewing, Dovetail, which you and JT both love date.
Yeah, that's what I was going to pour at
Oktoberfest first
next
yeah.
weekend. I just don't think they're going to want me pouring beer because I'll be the guy holding everybody up. So I don't know.
Well,
I'll have to reach out and see if they just want me to be a bouncer or collect money or something. But
well, you go as a volunteer, and if it doesn't work out, then it's just like, oh well, just go ahead and have fun. They're like, okay, thanks. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I committed to something before I knew I was going to be in a cast.
Yeah.
So I do my best to honor my commitments, but I don't know if they're going to want me there pouring beers. So maybe if I could check IDs or something, if they wanted to just like move me around, because it was only like a 3 or 4 hour shift that I signed up for, and I still want to do it, but I just don't think you want me to be the guy pouring you beer next week, because it's going to be sloppy as shit. Just drink it, you jag off, enjoy it. It's Oktoberfest, you prick.
I was trying to think. Oh, it's I Am Sam, right? Like the movie with Sean Penn working at Starbucks.
Oh, who cut me off the camera? What the fuck?
I didn't do anything. Did you do that? I didn't. But the Sean Penn I Am Sam, they'll be thinking, who's the I Am Sam pouring beer over there?
Yeah.
But Oktoberfest Nation, shout out on pretzels, feast on bratwurst, sip Hofbrau. That doesn't look bad. I mean, you got a good amount of events happening there.
Yeah.
So Chicago will be on tilt this weekend for beer for those of you in the Chicago area. So make sure you check out all the events that are available to you. I didn't know if Moira Rose was antisocial, because that would have been a good one for the dog.
Yeah, no, if she's not on her leash, so in the house, the best dog ever. When you put her outside and she's on a leash, she's a different girl. And it's just like, we walk out to take her for a walk, and we're like looking around, making sure the coast is clear. Because Moira don't play. She had a messed up life before we adopted her, and we make it the best life for her. But Moira don't play. And then like she'll go after the big dogs and then stand behind me. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't throw me under the bus. Don't put me in front of this big ass dog.
It's always
you little shit.
It's always the smallest one. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, in the house, the best dog in the world. You come over for Fobab, Rod. She's cool.
Right. I was wondering there about the comment. It was about there was a cinnamon comment made earlier about JT not liking cinnamon in beer. So cinnamon in the oatmeal, not the jalapeno. Right. So you got that all cleared up there. I mean, if you like the spicy oatmeal, I was like, I've never thought about trying that before. I was kind of interested to see what you thought of it. Yeah. Just drinking a Voodoo Ranger Atomic Pumpkin, cinnamon, and chilies. I haven't had that one in a while. Yeah. I remember having it, though. I like spice and stuff, so I like the kick.
I remember, God damn, this was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, not the beer. It's not the peppers.
Yeah. There was a beer with chilies from Pipeworks called Imperial End of Days that I've only seen twice in my life. But the chilies made it sound, when you tasted it, like you didn't get the chili up front. It almost tasted like a tart cherry. And you're like, wow, this beer is so good. And then at the end, that heat hits you. That was phenomenal. But most pepper beers, no. Remember the jalapeno sculpin? Get the hell out of here. Get
Yeah,
the fuck out of here.
It was the habanero one. I talked about it earlier. That one was
yeah.
over. That was over the level on what they did there. Like,
Yeah,
they went
get
too
the
far.
fuck out of here. Glad you made your money, but god damn, that beer sucked.
It was like there was a line and you guys crossed it. You went too far. Yeah. I said I had a Serrano beer and I had that beer. Those were like the two pepper beers that stood out to me as being too far. I've had some bacon beers, or some bacon beers that went a little bit too far too. And I love bacon, but when it's done right, I've enjoyed some bacon beers too with the maple syrup in there. Yeah.
What was it, Rogue, that had their like voodoo donut, like
they
maple bacon? Yeah.
I almost brought the Homer Simpson drool into my mouth when you mentioned that. No food sins. If you don't like it, don't order it, right? Dovetail's been dropping the ball lately. Oh, out of Ross beer. Whoa. How are they out of Ross beer? I don't appreciate that. And into the doghouse. So, yeah,
but like the month of October, you get the Vienna lagers on sale all month of October. Yeah. They made up for it.
Speaking of Ross beer,
bring it.
Speaking of Ross beer, Shankerla has a new one coming out here too recently. So I love some Shankerla out of Germany. If you get a chance, check that out too. If you're a Ross beer fan, I want all the smoke. Give me all the smoke.
Yeah.
I love a good smoke beer. I don't know if Vanessa is still here or not, but now we have to talk about Dragon's Milk.
Oh, God. Let me just take another leak, because this will be a beer I can't get in Chicago. Fucking right over that hour drive, and I can't get it here. Go ahead, Rod.
So Dragon's Milk are now about to roll out the D20 with more with their Dungeons and Dragon releases. So if you haven't seen this before, they teamed up with Dungeons and Dragons in the past, and I had a chance to get their beer before, and I didn't do it. I kind of kicked myself. I mean, is there a certain level where you feel like you don't want to pay for a type of beer? But then I'm like, I was debating. I didn't do it. It was like $50 for like the 25.2 ounce bottle. I probably should have done it. I just didn't do it. This one, though, I think if it does come out and I do see it, I probably will. But it's not just about the brew itself. So they had the D20. They're also coming out with a mead cask bourbon. These will be hitting the shelves November 8th. And so you can actually get this combination pack here. And it's just like in your head. Like I kind of want to get that. I mean,
I love that bottle topper.
I love the look of it. I love everything I'm seeing here.
I mean, look at that bottle topper on the head cask there on the right.
Yeah.
That's like awesome.
Yeah. It's a pretty sweet look they actually have to it there. And I'm like, I definitely want that. I was like, so I may have to plan for it there. But 20% ABV on the stout itself coming out. And then I don't think it said what the mead cask bourbon was on here, but it's going to be a dice tower set, D20 dice tower set with the two. And I'm like, damn it, New Holland, you make me want to get this stuff every time you come up with something.
Well, if any like Dungeons and Dragons fans want it just for the tops, I'll take the beer.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a fair trade-off. I'll give you the tops, and you just give me the beer.
Yeah. So it says the collector's edition drops at New Holland Brew Pubs November 8th and online November 17th. So depending on your state, you can actually go online and have it ordered and delivered to you. But what do you think about the wax dip? That's the one thing. The wax dip, like I'm kind of over the wax labels trying to get into beer all the time. Like I know it makes them more fancier.
Maker's Mark kind of owns the wax dip for me. And outside of that, just let it go.
Yeah, I love that look right there. That is, yeah.
I mean, on the bottle itself, where it almost looks like it has a beak coming out of it. If you scroll down on the bottle, it looks like really cool.
Yeah,
that's silver, but I mean, the only wax dip I want to get is a bottle of Maker's Mark.
Yeah, Yeah, the wax is something, but you still have some bottles that actually do that. But God dang it, that looks good.
Like Dark Lord. I mean, I haven't had Dark Lord in a couple of years, but they always had the wax. I mean, it's decorative, it's cool, but you know, sometimes just let me just open the damn beer up. I don't want to sit here and have like the little pieces of wax fly all over the fucking floor.
Trying to cut the wax with a knife and not end up in the ER. Sir, what did you do? I was trying to get in a damn bottle of dragon's milk. That's why I'm in the ER right now.
Yeah. Like new Spotted Cow. They have some of theirs in like wax.
The wax, yeah.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I've not had anything from Dragon's Milk that wasn't great. That's the problem, because then you see that and you're like, okay, I want to get that because I know it's going to be solid. Like there's certain beers. Like someone asked me the other day, like my favorite beer. I think it was the Mantry thing. I'm like, I mean, I don't asking a favorite beer is like a favorite kid for a person, right? So it's kind of like, you know, there's different stuff out there. But I will say there are some things I get, like Dragon's Milk, New Holland. Any new 4-pack I haven't had, so I'm just buy the whole 4-pack. Like that's like one I don't hesitate on, because they're always so good on stuff. But it's just like it's crazy. So you can get the big bottle of the beer, you can get the mead, the cask made mead bourbon if you want. You get it set together or get one or the other. But yeah, that's going to be hitting in November as well. So which I just may have to pick up. I just may. Just me.
You know, I got a guy now that I'm going back to work. You know, he lives right by there. Yeah. So he was like going to miss me while I was gone. I'll be like, I'm back. So you need to ass over to New Holland and pick this up.
Yeah, yeah. And give that one a go. But yeah, something to look forward to here for November for sure. And then we had let me see here.
We had the Mentor.
Yeah, we had the Mentor one that was taking place. Which actually, if anybody is in the market for buying a brewery, if your expenses allow, up in the Cleveland area, Mentor Brewing, unfortunately, is in that situation where they are actually going to be closing their doors. This thing open up here, but it's one of those situations too where the two owners, they're older, they're retiring. They've been doing it for a while, and it's just retiring, but they're willing to look to sell if possible. So if you're looking to buy a brewery, you know, we have this one in Mentor, Ohio. Don't know as much about them. I've heard the name before in the past. I think they do some pretty decent beers, but just that time of year, you know, just to get to that point, and I can understand that where you want to pull up stakes and go see the country or go fishing or go golfing or whatever you want to do at that retirement point, right? So, yeah.
And your deadbeat kids that want to take over the family business.
Right. But it's good where it's like not a story where somebody had to close, right? Like it's a story of them having success and now having to just retire, which is a good thing. But yeah, so congrats to them for their run there. It'll be through the end of the year. But again, if anybody's looking to acquire a brewery, there you go. Ryan said, never had anything from Dragon's Milk. Yeah, that wasn't great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's always spectacular.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to have the I got to edit this weekend, but I have the Emerald IPA Dragon's Milk that I'm going to actually upload, which is like their first non-stout, I believe, Dragon's Milk version they've done on anything. So
yeah, we talked about this a month or so ago, something that like not distributed here. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you like it.
I don't know what Michigan has against Illinois, but yeah, it's a little bitterness in there or something.
Yeah.
Yes, you would have to live near Cleveland to acquire that for sure. So
yeah.
Unless you were multi-rich, you could have somebody come in and take it and run it for you. But yeah. But you know, we see a lot of breweries that are kind of closing down for other bad I say bad type reasons, but this is a situation where they're closing because they're retired and they've had a good run. So good for them to be able to kick back now. Some point I'll hit retirement, I guess. I hope some point.
Yeah.
Like, believe me, there's days I question it when I'm working. Like, can I get an early buyout over here still? Am I still too young? I'm still too young for that. Like, I can't get that yet. Okay.
I mean, I thought I was going to be off. I thought I was like Dr. Winter off. And I got a phone call at work saying, "Oh, you can come back to work. We can give you 60 days of light duty." I'm like, okay, sign me up. I mean, I want that. Like, I want, because if I was going to be off, pardon me, I'd have to go on like Cobra or on my wife's insurance. So, and that's not cheap. No. When they call me back to work, I'm like, hell yeah, sign me up. I'll be back on Tuesday. I mean, I get fitted for the full cast Monday, and I'll be at work Tuesday. So at least that's cool. Insurance is back. I get full pay instead of like workman's comp pay. So I'm like, no, absolutely sign me up for that. But I'm like, there was part of me that was thinking like a week ago, like I might be retired. And then that lasted a week. Back to work.
I might hit the lottery. You just dreaming type scenarios, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody really fully. I mean, you retire, but it's kind of like I see people that retire, they end up doing other stuff. So
yeah,
I guess it's just not like working for the man. It's just like I do stuff the way I want to do stuff for the most part.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah. If I retired, I'm a bouncer. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, get your ass out of here.
It's like my mom, she'll call me during the course. Hey, what are you doing? I'm working. What are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm just sitting around. Yeah, because you're retired. I'm working still. Like, I don't have time to talk right now.
You're retired. You're sitting home watching Jenny Jones or whatever the hell's on TV at that time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I'll call you tonight when I'm off work.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Cobra is as useful as a used toilet paper that costs $100 per roll. Yeah. Yeah, you can do Cobra, but it's like you pay the whole thing, and people see what the whole premium amount is, and it's like, holy shit, yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, and it's horrible because then, like, people, like, roll the dice. Like, I hope I don't get sick. And then, God forbid you do, you're fucked. And you're fucked for the rest of your life, and your family's fucked. It sounded like Joe Pesci, and I'd like leak the weapon, and that's how they fuck you with the drive-through.
You never go to the drive-through. Yeah, you never go to the drive-through. Yeah, it's I mean, the number one cause of bankruptcy is people being sick. Some type of medical type illness or whatever. But it's like, once you get entrapped, it's weird. One time I did get a prescription or something, and I had like one of those. I had insurance, and I had one of those company coupons. It was like $25, and it was like. And I asked the pharmacist, like, what if you didn't have the coupon? What would it cost me? And she was like, I don't know, $1,200 or like that. And I'm like, so if people didn't have insurance, this would cost them $1,200. And she's like, yeah, it's like, but then if you have insurance, it costs you like $20.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, it's like just such a whole screwed up type system. Like, it basically is. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's kind of
I remember once, and this was like 10 years ago, and I'm at the pharmacy counter waiting for my stuff, and a woman in front of me, they told her what it was, and it was loud enough where I could hear it. It was like $2,400. I gasped loud, like, what? And she was like, it was something for like, she had like rheumatoid arthritis. And like the medication for that, she's like, I get it back the following month, from the insurance company. But she's like, I have to pay it up front. So I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, it just like, for like a 30-day supply of these pills were like $2,400. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the health ones with the high deductible, you got to pay up front on stuff.
Yeah.
I'd be like, how many lollipops you get with that? Because definitely someone's getting bent over. Yeah.
Well,
we finished all the beer news stuff, so now we're just kind of spitballing here on stuff. But yeah, it's kind of crazy on the medical type thing. So,
what do you got coming up this weekend?
This weekend, actually, I've got some editing and some videos to do for some beer reviews to get out on the channel. I actually did a couple of the reviews from some beers from Canada that were sent to me courtesy of Shane, who was here earlier from Shane's Craft Beer Reviews.
Hey, Shane.
Yeah, and then some other stuff I got to get done and recorded. And thanks for everybody tuned in. I did a video today. I'm doing more beer education stuff on the site as well, not just reviews. So I know a lot of people seem to be tuning in and checking out the it was funny. I was on Joe D's channel months ago, and he asked me the difference between cacao nibs and cocoa for beer. I never really thought about it before. So I did a video today that I released about the difference between it. And when you look at your beer, when you get like a stout or a porter, if it says cacao nibs or if it says cocoa, kind of can tell you the difference that you should look to expect on it, right? So so I did a video on that. I'm going to do more videos like that kind of stuff, but get some of the beer reviews back up and going as well. I'm probably going to release a video. One of the hot topics I've had recently that I keep getting stuff on, children in breweries. So that's kind of a video I'm going to probably come up with here to kind of share and get people's thoughts on.
You know, it's one of those things you got to, like we were talking earlier with like Rheingeist. Yeah. You got to meet the people. And if parents are going to come out with their kids and drink, I mean, as long as the kids are behaved, hey, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
Same thing with dogs. Some people don't like dogs. I'm a dog lover. You know, as long as the children or the dogs are well behaved, but there's that line where everybody thinks like their dog or their kid is perfect, and they're all not.
No, they're all not. And I think a lot of times that falls on the parents themselves to not be monitoring their kids. Like when I was at Mad Tree this week, there were kids there with some of the other people, and most of the kids were fine. There were a couple kids that just started running around because the kids are kids, and they're going to be anxious, and it's like, I'm tired of sitting here, blah, blah, blah. And there was one kid I saw running around, but his parent was right behind him, kind of getting him under control and all that stuff. And I see another kid running around where there's no parent around him, really, until the kid almost climbs up.
That's when you get a kid barrel aged. Here you go.
Yeah, there you go.
You want chocolate? Here you go. Tastes like chocolate. Fall asleep, you little fucker.
Times are different now. I remember when we were kids, and he gives a sip of beer, and we like fall asleep and be napped out. They can't do that nowadays. I guess it's kind of seen as being bad, but back in the day, hey, try this, and the kid's knocked out, and the parents are fine to go do what they want to do.
No, yeah. God, I remember. I'm sure you were probably the same way. Like I remember, like 40-something years ago, like you'd have like a little cold, and like my old man would give me like a hot toddy. I'm like you'd be arrested if you gave your kid like bourbon or whiskey and something, or you had like a toothache. Here's a little bourbon. All right. Yeah.
I can remember when kids used to, like, babies would like suck their thumb or whatever, and parents would be like, well, put some Tabasco sauce on their thumb because then they'll stop doing it. Like that would be like penalized nowadays if you did that. Like that'd be like torture to put Tabasco or hot sauce on the thumb to stop the kid from sucking it. But it was a different time. We grew up differently. So, you know.
Hose, water, and neglect.
Stop opening my door. You're letting the good air out. Like, is there good air or is bad air?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was good and bad. I had no idea. So, JT said tomorrow Liz and he are getting the latest needles for the flu shots. And FURK, you moron. Yeah. I don't know how to feel about the health director that's swimming around in like some infested type river stream or something. But yeah.
I go for the heroin though, I ain't gonna lie.
I think I'm due for a flu shot though. I gotta get that done at some point.
Yeah, I had mine done a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. We actually get money from our company when we do the flu shot, so all right. In their defense, sometimes the adults are the ones that need to work. Yeah, exactly. I agree totally, right? So the adults. Yeah. And I always wonder about, like, sometimes I see adults and they have children, and I see both adults drinking. So I'm like, who's the responsible one supposed to be? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just having one, but I'm like, usually if you're going out, I would think one is just not going to drink regardless and to keep an eye on the children if the other one's actually drinking. But I don't know. I don't have kids myself, so I can't really put myself in that position. But I'm like, there should be some active responsibility, right, that's take place.
Yeah, then we get frowned upon if you want to like tell the kids, hey, you ever seen a grown man naked and you want to like get the parents and the kids out of there? Then we get arrested.
You had to pull an airplane quote.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's interesting seeing kids at breweries just because, you know, you go to a brewery, depending on what brewery you go to, do you want to expose your kid to some of the things there, to drinking, the language? I mean, obviously, if they're younger, there's the whole hookup mentality, right, too, right? So it's kind of like, I don't know. Parents have to make their own decisions, I guess, on what they want to do there.
Yeah.
But some breweries are more family friendly. I'll give them that. They have like stuff set up for the kids to go play and do things and be away from some of the adults type things. But, you know, kids are kids at that age. I could just, you know, being a kid, we explore.
Yeah.
You like to explore. You like to go out and do kind of stuff, you know, and, you know, you end up talking to strangers and find out different things and stuff. It's just, you know, we had the whole stranger danger when we were kids back in the day, you know. It's like, don't go talk to the guy in the van with candy, but he's got now-laters. He's got now-laters.
Yeah. He got bottle caps.
Yeah. I'm not passing up on those.
Yeah. You got the root beer bottle caps? Fuck yeah.
Oh, I don't really make vans with no windows anymore nowadays. But back in the day, they did for sure.
No, there's a guy on my corner, and like we always call it the rape van. I'm like, what is this dude doing? I'm like, get that van out of here.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because generations now, like me, you, JT, some of the other older guys that are watching, it's kind of like we grew up in a time where you had like the old van with the bubble window, the old shag rag, the old water bed in the back, and it's kind of like you knew what was going on in that van. It was boom chakalaka, like, and it's just like, you know, it's a different time. Like, there's no vans like that nowadays, you know.
Nah.
Yeah, which used to be like a kid, like that is such a cool van.
Yeah, you'd have like the airbrushed like scenes on the side, and you drive by and you like hear like Bob Seger or like Boston or somebody from like the 70s.
Yeah. It's just like, that is a cool van. That guy's kick ass. Yeah. And nowadays, you don't see vans like that.
Yeah.
Little fog hat, slow ride.
Yeah.
Children in breweries. Did I tell you about the dad who was about to change his infant's diaper at the bar in a pack? Oh my God. No, that's such a fault. Like, you can't just do that.
No.
Yeah, that's terrible there.
Yeah, that's bad parenting.
Yeah. So I think when I do the video, it'll be a chance to kind of talk about some of these type of things. I might do it as a live stream, actually. I'm thinking I might try to do it this weekend. No problem with kids at the breweries, as long as the parents have their eyes on them. I like the community winter home in town. Yeah, I mean, if the parents are being good parents, it's like in Europe, they're kind of used to the whole family type thing where kids are there with their parents. It's like a pub, brewery type. It's a whole family experience, right? In America, it kind of can get away from at some point. Because I just feel like maybe it was more ADHD over here, but like parents aren't always paying attention to their kids. They're just like, and the kids are running out sometimes. And so, again, the majority probably are. So it's probably just a fringe that do that. But you got to make sure they're your kids. It's not up to the workers to have to watch your kids. Plus, kids run around. They run around a bar a certain way. They're not paying attention. They run into a waitress or a waiter that has beers they're trying to serve, right? And they knock over all the glass. Like, there's just different safety measures that take place as well. Or the kids get caught up in something they shouldn't be in. So,
don't come to Uncle Dave, because I'll be like, why don't you go play Frogger out there for real life? So you can dodge that car. I'll give you $1 if you could dodge those 2 cars.
So they're give the Heisman pose as they come there, you holding them by their head, like, back up.
Did you hear that thing? it was after he retired. And Barry, I mean, I'm a Chicago guy through and through. Walter Payton was my guy, but Barry Sanders was the shit. I loved Barry Sanders. And after Barry Sanders retired, he was on, it was like Dan Patrick or one of those. And he would be like, he would just dodge cars in traffic because he needed that excitement. I'm like, my God.
Barry Sanders went?
Yeah.
I did not hear anything like that. No.
Yeah. And Barry Sanders was like the most amazing football player I've ever seen. Like Barry Sanders did shit that you were like, what? Like you would look at his stats, like in the first half, he would have like 10 carries for 12 yards. And then at the end of the game, he would have like 200 yards because he would just bust them open. But like, oh my God, he would like dodge cars just like to get a kick.
Yeah. Well, Barry Sanders was that just give me one more chance type of guy, right? Like all of a sudden he blows something open. I mean, literally watching Barry Sanders, you swear you watched some of the games and he walked on air on some of the moves he put on people. And it was just like, just incredible. He was incredible. And when I was in college in, I think it was 80, I went to school 87, 88, 89. We were in the championship against Notre Dame, but I think it was 88 maybe.
Oh, Oklahoma State.
We played Oklahoma State.
Oh, my God.
We played Oklahoma State in the Sun Bowl, which had never had snow before.
Yeah.
Guess what? West Virginia shows up and it snows for the first time ever against Oklahoma State in the Sun Bowl. They're two running backs, Thurman Thomas, Barry Sanders, right? And we were in a shootout that whole game. Like we lost by like maybe a few points, but it was like 35-33 or something like that and everything. But it was just like, oh my God, watching both of those. Like you got two Hall of Fame running backs on the other team. And just think like, Thurman Thomas, the pressure he must have had, like he could never get injured because he knew if Barry Sanders got his position, he probably wasn't getting it back, And I remember seeing interviews with Barry Switzer and they're like, do not hurt Thurman Thomas when he was at Oklahoma. And they're like, what do you mean? They're like, if you hurt Thurman Thomas, then Barry's going to be in the game as the running back or whatever, rather than just a kick returner who was enough as a kick returner. He was like crazy as well. So, I mean, to have both of them as your running backs back then, it was just amazing to actually see. But
I'll be right back in like 1 minute.
Okay. JT said I was a kid in the 60s when every adult smoked at least a pack a day and drank it all in front of us. I'm okay. Well, it's funny. We were talking about something the other day, and you're a few years older than me, JT, but it's like we were like kids back in the day where the parents could give us a note to go to the local liquor store to pick up cigarettes and a drink for them. And it'd be like, okay, here you go. And we carry it back home, right? It was a whole different time back then on the stuff that we actually did versus what it is now. So, and we had the candy cigarettes too. Remember those back in the day, the candy cigarettes? They wouldn't even come close to making those now. They'd be too afraid people would get addicted to it. But we'd have the candy cigarettes with the gum, and you would blow it, and a puff of smoke would come out on the other side. As long as the kids screaming and running. Yeah, it's just a matter of being parents and, monitoring your kids, making sure your kids are doing the right things, making sure your kids aren't out of control, and making sure your kids are not causing any safety concerns for themselves or anybody else at the brewery. That's all it really comes down to. But sometimes you've seen where kids are running around and they get bump into one of the servers and they end up dropping stuff, or they run into something themselves and hurt themselves because parents aren't paying attention. And it's like, that's not the brewery's fault. That's like parents not being a parent. Yeah, cigs were 40 cents a pack, and the store guy knew your mom. So it was cool. Yeah, it was just like they knew who you were. The neighborhood thing, and it was like, yeah, give me a pack of the Marlboro or the Cools or the Newports, or like my grandmother. She used to smoke the was it the Benson and Hedges? I think back in the day she used to smoke. So it's just like, yeah, you run to the store. And you see Mr. Thomas or Jim or whatever the name was for the person. They knew who you were. They knew who your family was. And it was just like, oh, no big deal. Can't do that nowadays. Nowadays, you got the IDs and all that kind of stuff. a different time back then. Of course, back then, when you
You
got in
get to
trouble,
go for your mom, get my kid a pack of cigarettes and some Kotex. Yeah, all right.
it's like back then when you got in trouble too, and it wasn't just like your parents had to give you a spanking. If you messed up, the neighbor could give you a spanking and tell your parent about it, and then your parent would give you a spanking too, right? So kind of like it was like yeah, you can get in trouble by just your neighbors and stuff. So it's definitely different. It was a different time. But you know what? We all survived. We all did okay. We all moved on in life and did what we did and didn't get in trouble later on. But it was just, it was a different mentality, I guess. We knew parents knew what they knew, and we kind of just went with it and we grew from it. So we are literally that generation or those kids where it's like, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. And we got stronger from it. So yeah. Nowadays, I see kids cussing out their parents sometimes. Stuff. It's like, how does that even happen? How does that happen? Like you ever sit in a store and you see that and you're like, you want to use my belt? And they're like, what do you mean? Like, oh, you don't whip your kid? Like, if that was me back in the day, my ass was getting whipped. Like, you don't do that with the butt whipping or anything. Like, no.
Oh yeah, I got a 42-inch belt. You could fucking reach out across 2 aisles and get that kid. Dude, I'm fat. Let me give you my belt.
I knew friends back in the day. You got the belt. There was the wooden spoon.
Oh, the wooden spoon. I'm Italian.
Yeah.
Don't fucking bring up the wooden spoon. I'm Italian.
When we were kids, and the kids today don't have to worry about it. When we were kids, we had the Hot Wheels. And the Hot Wheels, we had the Hot Wheels tracks. I know parents that have grabbed the tracks before to whip their kids' ass before. So yeah. Yeah. So it was a different time for sure. You do not want those Hot Wheel tracks on your ass. I'm telling you. Yeah.
Yeah. They got you with the groove part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then we had their grandparents it wasn't our granddads, it was our grandmoms that would say, go out there and get the switch. And it's like you had to go out there and pick basically the switch that was going to determine how much penalty you felt. Like you had to pick your poison, essentially. And it was worse if you came back with like a twig or something and she had to go do it. Because if she had to go do it, she's checking the flexibility and she's doing all kinds of things. Oh, yeah.
Getting like the weeping willow tree shit. Right. Yeah. Getting length. Yeah.
Yeah. Kids today, they got it a lot easier than we had back then. I tell you that when you got in trouble.
No.
I remember one time, as a kid, my grandmother, we were in Gimbel's back in the day, but Gimbel's back in the day was like a department store for those of you that don't know that are too young, kind of like Wanamaker or some of the other ones. But I used to have a thing where I would press the button. I didn't do it at the UN. But I used to press the button to stop the escalators as a kid. I just had a fascination with doing it. And I did it one time in Gimbel's, and people like jerked on their escalator, and my grandmother saw me. She's like, come here. And she was just like, whack. And that's the last time I ever did it, but it was just like, you had no defense. You couldn't call CPS. CPS didn't exist back then. It's just like, you took it, like, but I learned my lesson not to do that anymore.
No. At least not when they were around. Yeah.
Although I got to say, it was a little humorous to see the escalator stop working when it came to it. I was like, who did that? Like, that was something I would do back when I was like a kid.
And I'm the guy that gets called the leftist on this show.
Right. Yeah, my mom would send me the Pliny keg with a note to get her menthol. So yeah, that's how it was back then. Take a note. Yeah.
You get like, my mom would smoke like Trues. I don't even know if they're still around, but True cigarettes and like some fucking Stay Free maxi pads. So after a while, you just be like, I could get cigarettes if I buy tampons, because no store owner is going to think a kid's buying tampons. So you just bite the bullet. It's a loss leader. You throw the tampons in the garbage and you smoke a pack of cigarettes.
I never thought about that.
I'm not that stupid. Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, oh, it's for little Davey. He's okay. Go ahead and give it to him.
Yeah.
Quit smoking in 2016 because I was starting to feel it after almost 40 years in a pack a day, 300 a month. Wow. Yeah, I quit. I smoked from 87 to 2000. And I just quit one day in January. It's like I was working out, lifting weights, like this. I can't do this anymore. Like I was like doing something with Brie. I was like, no, I'm done. And I never went back. I never went back after that point. But
yeah, I could still, like, to this day, if somebody brought me like a cool mild,
yeah,
I'd kill that pack right now.
Yeah. Now I do a cigar now once in a while. I just don't do the thing. And then college, I also chewed tobacco and did stuff too for a bit, but that didn't last for too long.
No.
But I was doing Copenhagen and all of that back in the day.
Oh, look at you. You were like Walt Garrison out there with the Copenhagen. There's a pinch between your cheek and gum.
Yeah.
No, just a pinch with skull, wasn't it? Yeah. Skull, just a pinch between your cheek and gum.
Getting the skull in Copenhagen. It started with the Levi Strauss originally. Kind of worked your way up. It was like do a thing.
Yeah.
I was going to school in West Virginia. What do you expect? In West Virginia, they chew tobacco. So kind of went along with it. And
I started out with Red Man in the pouch.
I've had Red Man. Yes.
Yep.
We had to sit in the front seat with no belts and drink. Yeah, we drank from the hose. Yeah. We didn't have seat belts. We'd be three people in the front seat or whatever, going out doing stuff. And I remember back when we were like in high school, going through the local neighborhood, we'd have kids ride on the front of the car when we were like just driving the parents' car around or something like that. It was we did stupid shit back then, but it was like we had that freedom to do it. Nowadays, you can't even do anything like that. Like you can't even tell some of the stories you did back in the day to your kids because you don't want them to emulate it, I would think.
Yeah.
Because things have changed.
One of my teachers in high school let us smoke cigarettes. Yeah. And he's like, if any of you smoke, go to the back row. And like there were windows. He's like, crack the window. And he's like, I don't care if you smoke or not, but just blow it out the window. So there was like a couple of us, and like we would be out there blowing it out the back window in high school.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, keep in mind too, I mean, we grew up with smoking in the bathroom. There was a reason there was a song about it because it was so common to have that happen. And I can remember being on airplanes where you had the ashtrays on the airplane.
Oh, yeah.
Just like just like in a car, we had the lighter. That was just part of it. I remember going to some of the restaurants and it was just like the smoking section was just smoke everywhere, right? So
it was like a Kiss concert. You go to the smoking section in a restaurant, it was just like yeah.
You go to a bowling alley, you have pregnant women that were bowling but are still smoking as well. It was just like,
my mom smoked when she had me.
Yeah.
That's probably why. I'm sure you're watching, but you smoked. I mean,
we were also the generation that kind of grew up, and like at least for me, I know some of my friends and stuff back in the day where we liked the smell of gas. And so, it didn't bother us when they were like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that because it'll hurt your membranes. Oh, did not realize that,
Yeah.
Later. Yeah.
And I'm 58. I'm good now.
I'm good now. Yeah.
Yeah.
The threat of a dad's belt. Yeah.
Yeah.
The intersection of the whole, when you did get the belt, I feel like every kid has gotten to a point. I know I did. I know some of my friends that did back in the day where you get to a certain moment when you get that reaction where you're getting a butt whipping and you decide to actually turn around and grab the belt. I don't know if it happened to you, Dave, back at one point. I know it happened to me at one point, and it becomes a no man's land type standoff. Yeah. Like, what do you do now?
Yeah. I remember, I'm half Italian, so my mom with the wooden spoon.
Oh, the wooden spoon were bad.
Yeah. After a while, like, you just block. And then it's like, and she'd be like, what the fuck are you? I'm like, I'm blocked. I don't want to get hit. So you got to block. And then she'd be more mad at you and you get double the punishment because you attempted to block. I'm like, I don't want to get hit. I'd be like Wonder Woman out there.
I think back then there was some type of conspiracy because I remember going to all my friends' houses and everybody had like the wooden spoon and wooden fork up on their walls.
Oh, yeah.
Parents, like every parent kind of had that as part of the deal. Not only can you use this for design, but it's great for whipping kids' asses.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was like, those were light. So you would you would even hear it right before it hit you.
Yeah.
Bam. And it was just like, fuck. And we just like, but then, after a while, like, I'm blocking this. I don't want to get hit.
Yeah. Of course, the worst time was when you were a kid and you knew it was coming at some point, like whether your mom or dad was getting home, and it's kind of like you were on a countdown clock because you knew something was going to happen, but you didn't know when. That was like the worst thing. Like waiting to see when it would take place.
Yeah.
The burning spoon, the orange hot wheel track, I know them well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never happened to me, but I had some friends that even had to go through the extension cord. I'm like, now that's kind of crossing the line there. But yeah, but some parents, that's what they had. They had the extension cord. They would grab that sometimes. Like, yeah, that can be rough. Yeah, beat downs in Kruger growing up. Yeah, I mean, parents didn't care. Like, in the middle of the store, you did something wrong, they didn't have to take you outside the store. They would do it right then. So, and parents and other parents wouldn't say anything. They'd be like, pretty much, that's what I would have done, you know. His own photographer kicked the emergency shut off later. His own staff fucked up the teleprompter. Didn't come. Yeah, I mean, I heard about the teleprompter. I didn't see the teleprompter. I heard about the teleprompter, but I heard about I saw the escalator. It's just crazy. There was like a whole investigation around it. Still smoke copious amounts of cannabis, but that's another thing. That's a whole different topic. Stranger danger, one of the things that's fucked up is country drive around suburban streets these days. They're a wasteland, no kids playing in the streets. Yeah, I remember we had an episode when me and Todd were doing it. And Todd talked about like he was driving home and he saw kids playing football in the field. He stopped and he was just telling the kids, it's great to see you guys out here playing. And the kids were like, what are you like? They were kind of like talking. I don't think it was a stranger danger, but they didn't know what Todd was actually saying. Like, you don't see kids really out there doing it as much now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No people.
That's all we did, like as kids. Like in the summer, it was sun up, sun down. You're like playing ball, whether it was baseball, basketball, football. I mean, that's all you did.
Well, we were like the Sandlot as kids back in the day. So it's kind of like you went out there and you played until dark or whatever. And even then, like growing up as a kid where we were at, we'd have like lights at the park. So we played basketball at nighttime even there too. And it was just like you were out, you were being active, you were doing stuff. And that, it was just different. And then when video games came out, we did video games, but we still had outside time before we did video games. Video games were kind of like more of a no one's around type thing on a Saturday or something, or it's a rainy type day. You can't go anywhere and your friends would come over and you play video games. It wasn't like a first thing to jump into. It was like the afterthought.
No, because even after video games came out, like we'd still play ball all day. And like depending on like how many people you had show up, like, all right, if you hit the right field, you're out. So you had to pull the ball, hit it to center field, and like you just play until the sun came down.
Yeah, that's just what we would do. So I don't know. It's I don't know if more kids are getting back. I've seen like some of the kids here where we're locally, they're doing some of the organized like soccer type stuff, and maybe they're doing other things now. But yeah, for a time you wouldn't see kids out there doing a lot of stuff. It's more inside. But then again, heck, nowadays kids get scholarships for playing video games. I'm like, shit. Yeah. When I was a kid, my parents would be like, you can't get shit out of playing a video game. Go do something. But now you see kids actually training for it and getting endorsement deals and everything along those lines. Oh, good for you. Take me back to 1984 to 88. Yeah, that was some fun times back then. 84, 83. I graduated 87, so 83 I was graduating from 8th grade, but like it was a fun time.
Yeah, it was like more years. 82 to 86.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're all same era. Like, you just played ball. That's all, I mean, I love the summer. That's all you did all summer long. You get up, you play ball.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just like that. And like, you don't have enough team for football, but you have 5 guys or whatever, so you play kill a man. You would just get out there and do whatever you do and have some fun and go from there. But then we played kill the man, and then we like, let's go down to Amato's, because Amato's is our local pizza spot, Italian joint, get slices of pizza and play pole position. And then we come back out to play football or something else afterwards, right? So, yeah. It was a simpler life, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
you
We'd
were
walk
just
from
enjoying
school.
it.
There was a place. God, I can't think of the name of the place. It's long gone, but you'd go get a slice. You'd put it through a quarter in the jukebox and play like Blondie or somebody like that, like 79, 80, 81. And
Yeah.
like, then you go back to school and it was like, man, that was like the best lunch ever. You'd sit
Yeah.
around with like 4 or 5 of your guys and it was the best.
Yeah. You can't measure your boys with touching grass as kids. We have fewer allergies than kids this century because so many of them wrote. Yeah, I mean, we do have a lot less type of issues. Like, I don't remember any kids like having peanut allergies when I was a kid in school. Like, I don't remember any kids having to deal with that or deal with certain things. It's just like, it's totally different. That there's stuff that you have now
JT,
that
you
we
were
didn't
in a
have.
fucking bougie in the town. I was in the city, JT. We didn't have no fucking grass.
Yeah.
We played on concrete.
Yeah. Yeah, I think tackle the
That's
man
what
with the
you had to
balls
do.
to kill the man. Kill the man is what we
Yeah.
called it, but it was tackle the man with the balls, like one against everybody else, right?
Yeah.
You throw the ball in the air, whoever caught it had to run to one end, knock your tackle, and run back and see who could score the most out of the time. It was fun. It was a blast.
Yeah. Slide in a second base, your ass is torn up because it was concrete.
Yeah. Well, we played tackle football in concrete at times too.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. It was kind of rough at some point. But I mean, it's just it was a different thing. It just, I don't know. I feel like it built character for us from back in the day, doing some of that stuff that we actually did. I mean, it was just different. So I don't know. It's kind of like some of the sensitivities and all kind of stuff that happens with some of the younger generation now. It's just, I don't connect with them as much because I feel like we didn't have to go through it. It was just like there's a disconnect or something. It's kind of like, yeah. Ryan said we had a good mix of sports, toys, imaginative play all around neighborhood, video games, cartoons. Yeah, good end.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
We talk about Dragon's Milk. I mean, I was a kid and we played Dungeons and Dragons, and that was imagination on doing stuff. I mean, character development and like whoever was the DM coming up with the ideas you actually had to do, as far as building out the map and all that kind of stuff. And then, we also did like stuff. We went outside, but we played like chess. We played checkers, chess.
We got laid in my
We
neighborhood.
got different games. Well, that can happen as well. So, yeah. Wait, you say you can't play chess and get laid?
Yeah.
You can't play Parcheesi and have that happen? Yeah. I don't even think they play that game anymore even. That was from back in the day, though. But, yeah, I mean, so, I was encouraged this week when I saw the kids at Wells Park in pads and helmets getting ready for their tackle football league. Well, they still have the leagues and stuff like that, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They're definitely out there playing that and everything. It was just, it was different. It was just, I think it was different. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. But it was more get outside and had to do some stuff where it wasn't that insulated. Of course, nowadays, some of these kids, 5 years removed, I mean, they had to go through 2020 and the whole non-social for a couple years, but I don't know how that plays into it. But yeah, that's a lot of kids. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to try something.
What are you trying?
I had these guys on my show yesterday. I'm going to put it out. This is like an all natural product that is going to help you not feel like shit the next morning. So I'm intrigued about it. There's some like Korean ingredients, THM, some other stuff. So I took one because God knows I had enough to drink tonight. So I'm going to see how this works.
Now I see why you were pounding away, so you can try that tonight to see how it actually goes for you. Yeah.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. I mean, I was off all week with the elbow, so I had like 4 interviews. That was one of them. Illinois Craft Brewers Guild. I did the one for Bootstrap Brewing. So, I mean, a lot of good stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. And now I got to go back to work. So everything got to be curtailed for a bit.
Well, yeah.
I told people, like, you got to get me soon. I'll be home all week. Yeah, I'm home during the day.
I'm available now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to do a video tomorrow on that? on the testing of it? Or
I did like a intro video. So like tomorrow I'll do like when I wake up, my hair is going to be all jacked up. Like, this is how I feel. You got to try it or you got to don't,
Yeah.
If you try it, use the code in the cart because you're going to save yourself some money. But, if I don't feel good, I don't feel good. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a couple of the hangover drinks years ago. The first one I did, like people were like, are you sure you drank enough for it? So the second one, I went full out to make sure I drank enough. I did like 10 fireballs and some higher ABV beers, had some shot of some other stuff. And I was feeling good the next day. I was feeling, I wouldn't say I was 100%, but I was probably about 90%. I was in good shape. So it seems to pull through.
At this age,
yeah.
At this age, that's good. So, this is
I like how you wince with the fireball.
Yeah.
You got a Malort sign hanging up, but you wince at the fireball.
And even the guys when they came on, they're like, "You got a Malort sign in the background, my man." I'll send these guys an email to get a hold of you, but I'll let you know tomorrow how I'm feeling before I do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Well, I think unless you got anything else, we'll go ahead and get wrapped up here.
No, I think we're good.
It was good. So for those of you watching, we're going to have some other stuff upcoming. We're probably going to switch. We were talking about this before the show. Probably going to be a Saturday edition. We're going to do on the 18th with some things taking place. So just be aware of that. We'll get all the logistics out as well for those that want to join. So that'll be a Saturday night versus a Friday night. Appreciate you, Ryan, as well. Definitely. I'll take a look there. You got my email, I think. If not,
Ryan, I'm here too.
Yeah.
I'm the guy on the right side of the screen.
Well, Ryan's here in Cincinnati, so they're going to Mantry, and Gnome's going to be doing his Oktoberfest quest. So, which is another great channel.
Everybody's like, "Hey, Rod. Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, the fuck, I'm right here.
Calm down, Vanna. Calm down. So I'll definitely take a look there. See what Andrew has going on for that event as well. Tried soju for the first time last week, and I could tell that if I drank it all, I was going to have a monster hangover. I have not had soju. Have you had that before, Dave? Have you heard that? Hello.
Everybody kind of froze up, but
there you go.
I don't think I've tried that.
Have you had soju? Oh, you haven't? Okay. Yeah, so that's what JT had there. Yeah. But no, this is good. And we'll go ahead and get signed off here. And make sure to check out Dave to see what Dave says about how he feels tomorrow over on Beer in Front and stuff when he uploads that there as well. But I feel like he's going to be all right. Probably be all right. Yeah.
I'm good.
You didn't drink a lot.
I'm going to get more of that intro music, so I'm going to get going.
Yeah, we had the intro tune earlier, so that was the new music there. There's actually more to it, so I'll have to get the extended version. But stay tuned. We got some music groups we're working with there. You want to hear it again? I could upload it again if you want to hear it again. So if you don't want to hear it again, that's fine. We'll go ahead and just do it next time. But
I'll put out some punk shit too.
We'll save that for next time. If you didn't hear the intro, go back to the beginning on the replay, and you'll hear the beginning for the first 30 seconds or whatever. But we're trying to spice some things up. So, and he says it's usually popular in Korea as well. So soju, I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Did you soju you? Yeah.
Check out JT. Get a hold of me, and I'll give you a hold of this. It's a Korean company, Last Call. So JT, get a hold of me. I'll hook you up.
There you go. All right, we'll sign off here. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay tuned for the next episode of the Midwest Beer Show upcoming. Make sure to check out Dave and Beer in Front if you haven't checked him out as well. obviously, if you're here on my channel, you know where I'm at. So make sure to check me out. But as I mentioned earlier, make sure to check out the website and some of the other stuff that I have for the beer news that you may not catch on the channel here. So got a lot of stuff happening. That being said, we'll go ahead and get out of here. Need a punk rock theme for these times someday. Hey, don't think it may not happen. We may have a punk rock version coming out soon too. So, you know, we're working with different groups. Different groups are trying to be a part of the show. So we'll. I want
a social distortion intro for this.
He said, "Thanks, Dave." As well. Yeah, we got some different stuff happening. We got some talent lined up. Don't you worry. You know, we got different mixes and remixes taking place. But you know, baby steps. Baby steps. I'm rambling. I'm not Leonard Skinner, so I'm not a rambling man. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off at this point.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everybody the comments.
Yes, thanks for all the comments. And
cheers, drinks a good Midwest beer.
There you go. More stuff on the way, and we will catch you guys. There we go. Sweet.